Welcome everyone back to episode 16 of the Quarantine Cast here on Beyond the Brick. I'm Joshua Hanlon and joined once again by Brian Saviano, Bricks O'Brien, and Kirk Wilson, also known as Vision Bricks. We've got an exciting stream of building cool Lego sets like the White House, as well as lots of other fun builds and discussions coming up here in this episode. So thanks for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's joining us live, as well as in your patience as we've been getting everything set up here. So we always appreciate everyone taking the time to join us in the chat. I saw some discussion about TikTok. I'm sure we'll have lots of other fun topics to discuss throughout our time on the stream today. So as you saw, I've got the White House set that I'll be building today. I think Brian briefly held up. What do you have there?
The Iron Man bus as a part of the latest, more adult-centered line of sets from Lego. There's a Stormtrooper, the TIE Fighter pilot Boba Fett, and then there's this guy. So yeah.
Awesome. Such a great looking set. I can see how jealous Vision is over there. What do you have there, Vision? Looks like a pile of bricks on the table. Do you intend to do anything with those?
I'm just going to rebuild this set because I had it sitting in the closet. So that's what I'll be doing during the stream.
Cool.
Which one was that?
The Venice set from Far From Home.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. My favorite European tour movie.
Yes.
Lots of wonderful shots of Venice in that movie as well. Yeah, it really brought back some good memories of getting lost in the city many times. So
yes,
I enjoyed it. And I think Spider-Man was there as well somewhere.
Occasionally. Only occasionally.
Okay. Yeah.
So before we launch in with our sets, we did want to talk about some breaking news because there's been some major news today related to the Lego Technic Bell Boeing Osprey set that has been in the news for the last few days. There's been controversy around this. There was a petition to Lego to not release this because it is based on a military vehicle, a current modern military vehicle. So unlike maybe the Sopwith Camel or some of these other vehicles they've done, this is still very much in production and very much used today by a number of militaries around the world. And so this set today was announced that it actually has been canceled. So there are a few that have gotten, because it was supposed to be released on August 1st, there are a few that are out there in the wild. I know there's at least one YouTube channel that John found that has a review of it up already, a German YouTube channel, because a lot of times, Germany and some of those European countries get these sets earlier than the US does. So there are some out there. Those are going to be very rare and very sought after since the set now has been officially canceled. And it's pretty crazy with this set because at first when Lego, announced it, they said this is like the rescue variant of of this military vehicle. And it had the kind of orange stripes and rescue stickers all over it. But now in the latest statement, which you can find over on Zumgabot, our good friend Andreas has this on his website, Lego says that while the set clearly depicts how a rescue version of the plane might look, the aircraft is only used by the military. So they've kind of changed the way that they've approached this now from saying it's a rescue set to saying, basically we took a military vehicle and just tried to act like this was a rescue variant of it that doesn't actually exist. So it's certainly understandable why people would be upset about this. Personally, we have a very long partnership with Brickmania. I'm very interested in military history and these types of things myself. So I personally do not have a problem with the set, and I think it's a really cool looking helicopter and vehicle. But I can understand why these organizations that petition Lego to not release it would have a problem with it, since it is a modern day still in use helicopter. So that's kind of the situation up to this point. I don't know, Brian or Kirk, did I miss anything there, or what further thoughts do you guys have on this?
I think you got everything pretty much, but I am a bit shocked that they kind of want to cancel the set. I mean, since it's clearly, like you said, it's clearly made for a rescue sort of vehicle is what they're aiming for. They're not aiming for the military version of it, even though it is used for military, is what that type of helicopter is used for. So, I mean, it is a bit disappointing, that does have to happen. I don't see why Lego. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just one person saying something in terms of like the people that have the issue with it. So I don't. It's not like it's a whole bunch of people saying it. So I feel like they should have still went along with it. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. So I didn't know it was only exclusively used for military purposes, right? There's never been any other variant of the Osprey being used in any other context.
That does appear to be the case now. Yeah, at first they acted like, oh, we're depicting the version that, is used for rescue,
Sure,
like search and
right.
rescue, but there doesn't appear to have ever actually been one designed for that use. I'm sure occasionally the military uses them for that, but there's not. It's still very much a military vehicle or military helicopter.
That was kind of the argument I was going to come at, is like, well, technically helicopters, cars can all be used for military purposes. If you play vehicle that is only Osprey.
I think we lost Brian there.
It seems.
Do you hear me?
Now
glitching out.
You were cutting in and out there.
Oh, that's weird. No, I saw you guys glitching out too. Anyways, my bad. So yeah, if it was only a vehicle used for military purposes ever, then I could see people being more upset by it. It's clearly marked rescue. It's orange and whatnot. I'm surprised Lego didn't think that more people would have an issue with it, considering it's an exclusively military vehicle to begin with. So the fact that it's in the box and 8 days from release, it's like, wow, okay, that is unfortunate. And now, people were looking forward to this set for what it was, and now you're not going to get it. But yeah, I thought there was a rescue variant, because there's like attack helicopters. There's all sorts of things, right? So why would this be the one thing? But that makes sense. I'm not like a big Technic guy. I'm not an Osprey fan. I don't have the same love for military history that you do, Joshua. So this set did not do anything for me regardless. So it's unfortunate for those who are looking forward to it, but I mean, it looks cool, but hey.
When you look at this finished model, you definitely get the idea that there was like some designer at Lego or someone who was like, hey, if we put these orange accents on it and then plaster enough stickers that say rescue, maybe nobody will notice that this is actually a military.
Yeah, no, it looks like a Osprey gunner. Yeah,
right.
It totally 100% does.
They tried to not make it look like that. But no, when you look at the pictures of the actual helicopter, which is a very cool looking helicopter as well. Yes. And I think they captured a lot of it very nicely with the set. And then obviously you've got the motors that come with it and everything. So there's movement there. They did a good job, depicting the actual helicopter with the set, but definitely, still very recognizable as the piece of military equipment that it's based on. Then the other big part of this that I think, like the petitions from like peace organizations and things have mentioned is the fact that this is, you can see on sort of on the front of the box there in this video, this is from that German YouTuber who has the set early. The Bell and Boeing, this is an officially licensed product. And so Lego is giving them money as part of this partnership. And that also was a major problem for people who are saying, well, you're basically, these are like arms companies basically that you're giving money to create this product. So that was the other big issue.
There was probably somebody in Lego that was like, all right, this won't be an issue. This will be fine. And I don't know who in that decision-making process didn't think like, well, maybe somebody might have an issue with this, especially if it is involving the manufacturers of said military vehicles, especially the state of the world as it's always been. Like that just is too oblivious to me. But hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's always interesting when a Lego set gets canceled. It's very rare. I think about like the Las Vegas set that they switched one of the buildings on, the architecture set. So things like that don't happen very often. So it's pretty unusual when Lego, I mean, especially this close to being released, which is pretty crazy as well, which I guess was similar situation with the Las Vegas set, because they're also like a very small number of those got out into the wild and I think a very limited number of people got their hands on those as well. So Brickzar in the chat says, how is this channel that we're sharing the videos from getting stuff? I'm not sure. That video was posted back on like July 9th. It's a German YouTube channel. It looks like this guy has a like a retail store. He sells these sets online. Interesting enough, he's actually selling this set, but only to Europe. So if you're in Europe and want to buy this set, based on his website, it's still available if you go over to this video. But yeah, I think just probably around the fact that he's like some kind of a retailer, he gets this stuff early and then he probably reviews it on his YouTube channel as well. I'm not sure if all of that is completely above board, but that appears to be the case.
Okay.
Yeah, the Germans, they get their hands on all sorts of crazy stuff from Lego before everyone else. That's the perks of being next to Denmark, I guess. I've always thought that there's some kind of like tunnel underneath the border that goes into Billund, and then they just funnel stuff out because they get all the crazy stuff. But yeah, so just wanted to give everyone an update on that. I think this is pretty interesting that Lego would do this, and like I think Kirk was saying earlier, and it's kind of surprising that they decided to cancel this, since I know the set itself they certainly tried to not give too much of like a military appearance to, but it was still close enough that people got upset. Yeah. And Brian, as a massive Technic fan, are you disappointed you won't get your hands on this?
I can't think of anything that disturbs me on an emotional level more. But I also just thought right now, like, they've come out. I remember there was a tank in a Captain America set with Red Skull years ago. So they've done like tanks and military-esque vehicles before. So like, where do you draw the line? It's the slope, and so I just, that came to my mind. I'm like, oh, that kind of did happen. Okay, all right. So
I think the big thing with this set is the fact that it's still currently produced and used. And I don't know if they've ever done that before that I'm aware of.
No.
So like, because what I always come back to with that, like, should Lego do military things, is the Indiana Jones sets. And once they did Indiana Jones, it's like, I mean, how can you justify saying you don't do military stuff? I mean, they're literally making like World War II, like German soldiers, or like, German soldiers and everything. So those sets, I feel like, really put them across that line in a lot of ways. But still, that was not modern, current day stuff. And so that's what really sets this particular set apart from what they've done in the past.
Gotcha.
That's the main, I think one of the main complaints that I've seen from people. Yeah, it's like Jeff says in chat, the like Captain America stuff was all World War II, Indiana Jones stuff was older, so I think that doesn't necessarily apply.
Exactly. Yeah, makes sense.
Pete Morrison says in chat, I totally would have bought this set. I'm highly disappointed. Yeah, it is a great looking set. And like I said earlier, I think they captured the look of the helicopter very nicely. So it's always disappointing when a well-designed set gets canceled like that. But I'm sure there will be other helicopters and things in the Technic line coming soon. So always more stuff you can count on from them over there. But yeah, with that said, we'll launch on into our builds now. Just wanted to cover that off the top here. So I'm going to open up the White House. Brian, you've got the Iron Man, and then Kirk is working on some Venice over there.
Yes.
Let's see. I got to locate my knife.
That's not a sentence I thought I'd hear you say today.
I realized the other day that I have 3 different knives sitting around in this room because at different times I lose one and then I pull another one out to open sets.
Right. Gotta love the satisfying sound of the box thunk on the ground as you throw it across your room. It's great.
Gonna bring in the build cam here to show off the not for sale sticker on this set.
Hey. It's not for sale.
That's right.
It's not.
Shout out to Lego for sending me this set. I've had it for a number of weeks now, so I've been waiting for a good stream to build it. Pull this out here. Let me know if this is too loud on the mic.
Okay.
Kirk, that set does have Mysterio, right?
Yeah, all 3 sets from the Far From Home wave have Mysterio. It's something that I've seen people kind of complain about, but when you see the movie, it makes sense why.
Yeah, and the only thing I could complain about with those sets in particular is that it does not look like Jon Favreau in the jet.
That is
not even.
That's what.
No.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's definitely not happy. The face is very off. It looks nothing like that. The hair is off. Only thing that's somewhat accurate is the suit that he's wearing, but that's about it. They really should have tried better with that.
Jimmy with the $5 super chat is rolling in dough, apparently, saying it's a great channel. Check out the stop motions only after this dope live stream is done. Hey, shout out to the $5 promotion on the Beyond the Brick live stream. If you want to advertise whatever YouTube channel you have, you can put that in the chat. As long as you give money along with it, that's totally fine. Thank you, Jimmy Mania, for the $5 super chat to the Chipotle Lunch Fund.
That's right.
This is here's the Iron Man book here. It does have a little bit of information about the film here, so that's pretty cool. Get some access on that, and all the different languages as well. So I have heard that one person reviewed this as the expression of Iron Man having a pouty baby face. So I would like to see it for myself in person. We'll see how this goes here.
Wait, who said that?
I don't know. I heard it was a random review of this set, and I'm like, wow. All right, that's a great way to describe something. Never would have thought. Jeff with the $5 super chat. Brian, your head's too big for that helmet. It won't fit. Sorry, bro. Jeff, can I get a permanent ban for Jeff McKelvey in the chat, please?
Can we get some moderators? Is there any moderator who knows how to do their job here?
Vision, slacking, building already. Jeez. Anyways.
I'm sorry.
Thank you to everyone who gives a super chat. That money does support Brian's lunch fund, so you help keep him going on the streams. Very important, because otherwise he might just like sleep through it and not bother to show up.
Yeah, right. There's less and less incentive for me to show up every week. So the more money that's contributed to the channel, it gives me further incentive to deal with Kirk for a longer period of time.
Oh man.
Here's the wonderful instructions for the White House set. Fairly small instruction. It's kind of thick, but not real large instruction booklet here. Always starts with the nice photos. There we go.
There you go.
We got some early like blueprint plans here for it.
Guac is $1.95. Luckily, I do not get guac in my my burritos. I'm not a guac guy. I do not understand the hype, if I'm being totally honest with all of y'all. It's always
slowly learned to appreciate it. I never had it when I was younger. I always thought it was awful, but in more recent years, I've slowly gotten into it a little more.
It just doesn't taste like anything in the guacamole I have had. Maybe I just haven't had good guac, because all the guac I have is just like, it's just mushy, kind of tastes like nothing. You know, it's like
it is one of those foods that definitely can vary a lot depending on like how it's made and how fresh it is. If it's like, you know, some people like make it homemade and it can be really good. So yeah, it is one of those situations.
Yeah.
Ash Daddy with the $10 super me. Building your mind one brick at a time. There's.
Oh no, we need to. Brian, we lost you there again. You've got to reread it, or because so he can get his money's worth.
Yeah.
Wait, ESCH Daddy, LME Toys, building your mind one brick at a time.
There you go.
Yes.
There's a shameful promotion. Okay.
Hey, you know what? If you want to give super chat, you know, we're happy to do it. We've got a lot of time to fill here. So if it's just Brian doing like old 1940s radio style ad reads all day.
I
will promote anything unshamefully. Anything. Well, almost anything.
Almost, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That way I can afford that tableside guac that apparently I need to try for myself. Oh, man. So is my signal cutting out? Am I good?
You're good now. It's for like super brief periods of time.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't. It might. It shouldn't have anything to do with the wood shop downstairs. They're also cutting down a bunch of trees over by the railroad tracks over here. So if I just die, then you know why. So
they're cutting down a bunch of trees.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe it's like, oh, we just cut a wire in the ground. Oh, see you. I don't know.
Hopefully nobody was live streaming around here.
As they're cutting down trees by the railroad track. Say some have to early, so
Oh wait, he cut
there
it.
it is.
They hit the wire again. Sorry, they hit the
wire. Is it really cutting out that? Oh man.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let me try to do something. I'll be back. Okay.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right.
Okay, Kirk, it's all on you now. This
All
is
right.
your moment to shine.
So, chat, what are we doing today, chat?
How many times have you rewatched Avatar since we last streamed together?
Since we last streamed together, it still hasn't changed. I probably will watch it eventually. I heard that Legend of Korra is supposed to come on Netflix in August, so I'll be binging that once that arrives.
What is that?
That's the sort of spin-off to Avatar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it take one of the characters from the show and give them their own show?
It takes the only like returning characters are the ones from the original show, but they're like much older. But it's focusing on like the next person that's going to be the Avatar, which is Korra.
I see.
Yeah.
Alyssa says Brian is on the Dunks Wi-Fi. That's right. He's not classy enough for that Starbucks Wi-Fi, so it cuts in and out. Someone says spoiler.
That is definitely not a spoiler because it's pretty clear in the show and in the description of the show. It's not a spoiler. It's not. Oh man.
Brian left us to get food, probably. You know, he was like knocking his internet up and down just to act like he had to leave for a while. He's making a Chipotle run.
Yes.
Legend of Korra is basically the equivalent of Star Trek: The Next Generation, but for Avatar. I started watching Star Trek: The Next Generation on Netflix, and I got like the first season and a half in, and I just haven't taken the time to keep watching. I'm really bad at that. I enjoy the episodes when I watch them, but it's just so hard to dedicate the time to watch,
I get it.
especially longer. What, like 45-minute long episodes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be frustrating. Boone Langston, shout out to Boone, is a massive Star Trek fan, and he was telling me how amazing it is. So that's why I started watching. And at some point, sorry, go ahead.
I still have yet to actually like sit down and watch the shows from Star Trek. I've only seen, I think, what was it? I think the first Star Trek movie that like came out in terms of what's his name? Chris something. Is it Chris or is it the guy that's in Wonder Woman?
Chris Pine?
Yeah, Chris Pine. That one. The first one from that. So that's the only one I've seen. I think it was that one, and then I think eventually I watched Beyond, but that's about it. Eventually I want to watch the original stuff.
Right. Wasn't Benedict Cumberbatch was in one of the newer Star Trek movies, wasn't he?
I think so. I'm not for certain. Let's see.
I feel like I remember seeing a clip with him or something.
Let's see. Benedict Cumberbatch star.
Someone in chat.
Yep, Star Trek Into the Darkness is what he was in.
There you go.
This Star Trek movie is Rogue One and Star Wars. Oh, God. Spoon and Trekkie, but an Vision Bricks. Avoid the odd number Trek films. Discovery is a nice take on the franchise. Wasn't Into Darkness. How do people not know? I couldn't remember that, Jeff. I remember, like, I couldn't remember which one it was. I remember seeing them. I just couldn't remember which one. Jonathan Chang says, haha, named Kirk and has not seen Star Trek. I know. I used to get called Captain Kirk a lot when I was younger, and I just never sat down to watch it.
You're like, that's why I ruined it for you. That's why you haven't watched it.
It's just like, okay. like at that time when I was like, I don't know, 7 or so, like I didn't really care for that type of stuff. Now I've gotten older and I've like built like this weird liking for old classic stuff. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, in my mind, Star Trek is definitely less of less interest to kids than something like Star Wars is.
Yeah. Like Star Wars, it would have that more like appeal there. Like back when I was like 7 or so, I was only watching like, I don't know, like older cartoons more so than actual like shows. So that was kind of what that was. Like VHS tapes mainly.
Right. Milan says, "Why is the White House audio muted? I would like to hear the White House talk." Sorry, the White House in this stream doesn't talk. You just get to sit here and watch it. Moto says, "Keep on building, guys. Thanks for the talk today. $5 super chat. Thank you, Moto. Appreciate it."
Yes.
So for anyone just joining us, I am working on the White House architecture set. Compliments of Lego. Shout out to them for sending it. Kirk, what do you have there?
I am working on the Venice set from Far From Home.
There you go. How many sets did they release based on that movie? Do you know?
It was 3. So it was the Venice set, the set with the Stark jet, and then the other one was the one with Molten Man.
Do you have a preference do you have them all?
I have all of them. Yeah, surprisingly, I was able to get all of them. So out of the 3, I think it's actually the Venice set. I like the build for Molten Man, and the jet is cool, but I actually like just the detail and the build from the Venice set, because like I find that for a lot of, I guess, like the MCU sets, we don't get as many buildings. We get more like vehicles and stuff. So it's nice to see them work on like sorts of architecture and stuff for these sets.
You need the Venice skyline set to go with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Question for Vision Bricks: do you prefer Spider-Man Homecoming sets or the Far From Home sets? Homecoming. Did I get all of the Homecoming? No, I did. Okay, so out of between Homecoming and Far From Home, I probably prefer the Far From Home sets, just because they're, I guess, like more detailed. I think they're like some of the best MCU sets that we've gotten up to date. But in terms of Homecoming, the bank is a cool set, but it didn't really appeal to me as much. And then the other one we got, which is the one with the van and Vulture, like that one's a cool one. I like that one compared to the bank set. 100%. It's nice to see buildings in Marvel Lego sets for sure. I'm tired of Spider-Man plus random Marvel figure plus Spider. Yeah, it's like every other Marvel set that we've been getting recently has just been nothing but vehicles. It's kind of a bit of a bummer to just kind of keep getting that repetition there. But hopefully, because like I remember the first Marvel set I got was the Daily Bugle Showdown that came with Spider-Man, Nova, Doctor Doom, Beetle, and J. Jonah Jameson. So that was like my first Marvel set, first Spider-Man set I got. And I loved the set because, like, I don't know, like something about the building, the way it was designed, the play features in it, I like those type of sets compared to the stuff with the vehicles. So yeah.
Do you go in more typically for like play sets or sets that you think will look good on display?
Sets that look good on display, and if it's a play set, it's got to be like a really good looking play set. So like, for example, the Venice set or the Daily Bugle Showdown or what's the other one? The Avengers Tower, the new one. I don't have it yet, but it looks like a pretty nice set.
Brian, you good?
Oh wait, Brian's back.
I think I scared off the DDoS attack, so we'll see.
Okay.
See if it ended up working out well. And also, thank you, Moto, for the $5 super chat while I was in limbo there. Appreciate it.
You see, no, Brian. You see, you weren't here to announce that, so I think that rightfully goes to me. I think I need to build up my own Chipotle fund.
You know what, Kirk? You're right. That's all you, buddy.
Man.
We can go 50s on the episode here.
I'll send you each a $2.50 gift card.
Thanks, Joshua.
Oh man. All right, wait. So, geez, everyone's asking me a bunch of questions today.
You're very popular, Kirk.
Yes. Let's see. What's the next one? Nice. Okay. Sam Raimi Spider-Man sets are the best in my opinion, just for the source material. I really want to get the Sam Raimi sets. I love those movies, and I'm like those are the sets that I would really give me just a second. Let's see.
Sam Raimi was the second from a few years ago, right?
No, that was Tobey Maguire was
no. Tobey Maguire was the original one, right? Like early 2000s.
Yeah, that was.
Isn't
Tobey.
that Sam Raimi? No.
Wait, yeah, Tobey is Sam Raimi, and Tom Holland is MCU.
Right. The one in the middle
is Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There you go. Thank you.
I thought we were going to have another Moana Coco situation. No. I know this one. This one I know.
Oh man.
I was just trying to get you to mess up there again, Brian.
No, that's fine. Today has been plagued with difficulties, as we know, so that worked out well.
I think Jeff earlier asked about the Sanctum set. I love that set. I love both of them actually. The one that he got for the first movie, which comes with the portal monster, which is like more so like a cutout sort of room build, and then I like the one that we got from Infinity War because I think just the detail on it is great. Though there's like one inaccuracy, and this is just like one of my things where I go more so based off accuracy and detail. So I feel like they could have used sand green for the roof. I don't know what was the issue or why they chose to go with the black roof, but other than that, it doesn't really like take away from the set really. It's just like one of those like mild inaccuracies there. But I love the set. I still have it built, actually. It's up on my shelf.
Have you tried to be a completionist with any of the like Marvel or any of those themes?
That's what I've tried. So back when I used to work for the Lego store and I was working on Wakanda, I made sure to get every single Infinity War set. So I was able to do that. And for Spider-Man Far From Home, I got all the sets for that. I'm definitely missing like some sets here and there. I know for Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, I was able to get the two of them. So I have the Milano, which is right up there. It's off camera, but it's up there. And then the one that comes with, I forgot what the name of the ship is. I think it's like one of the sets for the Nova, like the team of like Nova workers in the first movie. I forgot the name of it. I think it's Star Blaster Showdown or something like that. So I have that, and then other MCU related stuff. I think it's that. I know I have one of the Endgame sets. There's like a bunch of other Endgame sets that have been released, but I don't. For that wave, the only sets I like really care for are definitely the Quinjet, the Compound, not so much. The helicopter that came out, not so much either, just because it wasn't in the movie, so I definitely don't care about it since it wasn't really in the movie. And then overall, the build doesn't seem like that detailed. So the only like interesting thing from it would be the Hulk figure or the rescue figure. Like those are like the two main figures that I care about, and then the Nano Gauntlet, which was in Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So let's see. Somebody asked in chat here for me. Rogue Runner asks, "Is there any Lego theme that I'd want to complete aside from Lego Western?" I think architecture. So I have a lot of architecture sets, but I don't have like the real early ones. And there are a few I've missed out on here and there. That would be. I just love so much. I mean, the fact that they look really cool on display. I've been to a lot of the places that the sets depict, so that's really cool. It's like it's neat to have something from a city or a monument or some place they've visited. So having every architecture set would definitely be my goal. But I've got a lot of them, so that's nice. I'm happy with what I've got.
Yeah. I don't know who asked, but okay, it was Boxbelt. He put it right there in the chat again. So, favorite minifigure is definitely the Homecoming Spider-Man suit. That's definitely my favorite. If we're talking Marvel, that's my favorite. But if we're not talking Marvel, I think favorite figure. I'll have to get back on that one. That's actually a good question. If we weren't talking Marvel, what would be my favorite figure? I'll have to think about it. Maybe I'll have an answer towarch the end of the stream.
This is too much pressure for Vision.
Yeah. I'm not used to getting this many questions. All right, what's the next one? Yeah, it is a fun set. It is. Do I own any Avenger sets? I do not own any of the Avengers, like from the first movie. I don't own any of those sets. It's something I want to get eventually, because I think at that time when those sets were out, I wasn't into Lego, or either I was into Lego, but I didn't have as many sets. I think it was like a couple here and there, and that was it. But it's definitely something I would like to do. Like one day when I get older or whatever, I would like to just be able to slowly build up my collection of like MCU related sets that have been released, because a lot of the stuff that used to come out before like this recent stuff actually was pretty good. Like the Quinjets, so far have been pretty good, and the stuff from Civil War, which I think also had a Quinjet, was nice. So
I think Brian's goal is to spend less than 5 minutes on the stream today.
He's just gonna have Mario just sit in the chair.
Just keep that nice and big full screen there with Mario chilling on his chair.
So pineapple goes on pizza or doesn't go on pizza? I have not had pineapples on my pizza, and I don't think I ever will. I don't know. It doesn't sound right to me. I don't think I would like it. So maybe one day, maybe I'll try it, see what the hype is about. Yeah, just see what all the fuss is about. But
I'll have it every once in a while, and it's okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not my least favorite pizza topping, like ham and pineapple, but it's also nothing real enjoyable either. Mm-hmm. I've also reached the point in my life where like I'll eat anything on pizza as long as it's pizza. Like I've become much less picky on toppings the older I get. So at this point, if there's pizza, I'll eat it.
Gotcha. Jeff asks, European tax law, fair or not fair? I don't know the answer to that. I don't. Question for Kirk and Joshua. If Lego could make a set that you want from a movie, what is the movie and what do you want in the set?
Oh, from like any movie. That's difficult.
That definitely is a difficult question.
I'm trying to think of like favorite movies for me that have not, maybe lesser known, that Lego has never made anything based on. I'm gonna need a minute to think about that.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see. I'm gonna get the Marvel one out of the way. So I would like to see a lot of stuff from the pre MCU movies, like for example, Iron Man, Captain America: First Avenger, Thor, Incredible Hulk. That probably wouldn't happen, but honestly, I don't really see what much you could do for Incredible Hulk. So maybe leave that one out. But like those like sort of movies from that time, like if we got the ship that Red Skull flies in First Avenger, that would be great. Definitely like some stuff from Iron Man, like the first Iron Man movie. I'm trying to think like what scenes they could do. Maybe like the scene like at where the big arc reactor is, or maybe something with Ironmonger, like that type of stuff. I would love to see them do, but it probably just won't happen. I mean, they kind of have done it with the what is that set? It's like the extension to the Hall of Armor set that's coming out, or I think is already out. So that has the hot rod there, and I think the prototype armor or not the prototype, because really the prototype armor is the one that's takes place in the desert, but the silver suit, the Mark One.
The canceled Osprey set would have gone well with the desert scene. You know, it could have had a whole combo going on there.
Definitely. Let's see.
I'm still trying to think of, I don't know, a lot of my favorite movies are like war movies and stuff that Lego would never make anything based on. So I'm trying to come up with something that is like a feasible product that Lego would actually make from a movie that I like. I don't know. Something will come to mind eventually.
Favorite car? Are we talking real cars or are we talking Lego cars?
While you think of that, I would like to answer the question.
Oh yes, you are allowed to participate, Brian.
Yes.
Wow. So firstly, shout out to Jimmy Mania again with a $2.69 super chat. Pizza time. It's always pizza time.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy, once again. What I have always wanted to see, which has technically already come out, but I would love to see it in the new style that they have been doing these sets these past couple of years, is when I saw the Hogwarts Great Hall at Toy Fair 2018, I said, you know what would look really good right underneath that is a beautiful Chamber of Secrets that you put underneath the Great Hall, a big brick-built basilisk with the giant stone mouth that opens up and have the snake come out that way like the old set. So I want a new version of that set to go underneath the Great Hall. From the Harry Potter movies, obviously.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes. Movie-based set. Other than that, a lot of the other things I would want from a movie have actually already been made. I think for a Star Wars set, I'm very surprised that it hasn't been announced or that there's no rumor or like anything at all of the final sequence from episode 9. Like that would be a fantastic set.
You know what I saw? I saw this was yesterday or 2 days ago. I saw
somebody made it the box
CM
with,
Versailles.
Yeah, he did.
So that like I'm really surprised that that's not a thing yet, because they did have like, what is that? The Buzzard set now from episode 9. So I'm surprised that they haven't done that. You would think they would want to like give people a new Palpatine figure, but I don't know. Maybe it's there and we're just not going to get it until maybe like, I don't know,
later this year, maybe.
Yeah, probably like later this year, beginning of next year, maybe. See.
So Brick Star Wars Boy, I had said that for a while too, that the bottom of the Whomping Willow in that set has a little hole that you could drop a minifigure into that could go into the Shrieking Shack. So I am totally in belief that exists, but it's just not out yet. Like it makes way too much sense. So that's my vote. That's my make it happen.
Not sets based on the Mario movie.
Well, the Mario movie doesn't exist yet. Now, when we have a trailer, then I'll have something to go off of.
I thought that there's been Mario movies, right?
There was one Mario movie from the 80s that was.
Let's not.
Right, I know. No. That's what I'm saying. You don't want sets based on that.
You know, John Leguizamo as Luigi, I'm all set. I'm good. Thank you. Man. We're good.
Yeah, that was definitely not the best.
Yeah, we're all set on that one.
Yeah,
thankfully.
Oh, you know what? I like to see what could make some fantastic sets around is the Mission Impossible movies. That would be. I'm thinking of like movies I'm a big fan of, and you could make some really cool play sets based on those movies.
I wonder if they still have the license though, because I know they did with Dimensions to release that pack, because I have the figure. But I wonder if they still have the license with them, because if they do, that would be great.
I don't know. I feel like they would have done something with it by now if they really wanted to do anything.
Yeah.
Gotta love John in the private chat. I'm dropping out to get some real work done. All right, Timmy. That's fine. Fine.
I'll switch the camera angles when needed.
Cool.
This is pull up the build cam full here. So this set has a ton of these clear 1x1s that you put together, and stacking 1x1s, no matter what color they are, is quite possibly my least favorite Lego build activity.
Yeah.
The Taj Mahal had a crazy number of 1x1s you had to stack, and it just like kills your fingers and is so unenjoyable.
Yeah.
Brixar with the $5 super chat. I want Paganomation's Bill and Ted San Dimas Mall Lego Ideas set.
It is pronounced San Dimas, Brian. Sorry.
Well, I'm ignorant. I'm sorry. Thank you, Kirk, for being here. Now that actually has a slight more possibility of happening. And thank you, Brixar, for the $5 super chat.
Yes, thanks, Brixar.
That has more of a possibility because they're coming out with Bill and Ted 3 soon-ish, right?
Yeah,
yes.
That's the plan, but we don't know what's going on with the word that will not be said on stream. We don't know what's going on with that.
The world situation.
Yeah, that thing. That's happening.
So
yeah.
I'm glad Brixar mentioned that, because this week's Ideas Spotlight stream will actually be with Dave Pagano and Bill and Ted project. So Brixar, man, looking into the future there.
It's almost like he might have. Did he know? Is he pretty? That foresight there. Jeez.
Who knows? So if people want to learn more about that project, this Friday evening, I'll be chatting with Paganomation himself about the project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that has more of a possibility. I think if any other time of it happening, like Bill and Ted isn't as much in the pop culture conversation as often. So,
yes.
But the fact that 3 is coming out, hopefully, eventually, I think it was slated for this year, and then they're probably
it was
for next
or it
year.
is. I know. What's it called? What just got delayed? Tenet. That just got delayed.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. And I'm kind of upset about that because I was really looking forward to that movie. So they haven't released or announced like what's going to be the next release or planned release date for it. It'll probably be next year, if anything.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for these directors, actors, everyone involved. I mean, think about how much work and how many years goes into a movie to then not have it, be released on time, or maybe not at all, or it goes straight to some kind of streaming platform or something.
Exactly.
A tremendous amount of effort and time that goes into those. It is disappointing.
Because normally, like around this time, they would be having their like Hollywood premieres of like the red carpet sort of thing and doing all that. That's not happening at all.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah, that was supposed to come out this year too.
Oh,
We didn't know anything about it anyways. So I feel like that might have gotten delayed maybe once anyways. So
okay. Yeah, I believe it's cut. They said the new release, I saw it this morning. They said it's March 5th now of next year.
It kind of bugs me, like in the case of like Black Widow and the new Fast and Furious movie, like those movies are literally done. They are ready to be put on a Blu-ray disc and go to Target right now, and we still haven't seen it. Like, man,
because their release dates were a while ago now, and by now you would have been had them on those platforms.
Yep. And I mean, Disney wouldn't want to put Black Widow on
Disney Plus.
Yeah, they could, but I don't think they would. But.
Why do you think they don't want to do that, though? I mean, that would seem to make sense.
I think just like money wise, I think they would like to see some sort of return from that, like the way they would with any of their previous movies that have been released in theaters and stuff. So I think that's probably the issue of like what they're trying to mull over, just to see like if that's the best choice or not. I think there's something supposed to be going on with New Mutants, which that movie has been delayed like several times, like a lot of times. So that I think at the moment is still supposed to be released in theaters, but I think something this morning, along like with news sources for like Marvel media and stuff, were saying that there's something going around for September 4th and it being on Disney Plus. But again, you can't trust these sources because they always try to
those kids
create some sort of
I was just going to say that.
They come up with the most ludicrous things, bro.
Yeah,
I lurk on there, man.
The Instagram kids.
The Looney Tune stuff they come up with, man.
Oh man.
All sorts of speculation. You only know when things happen when they actually happen, you know?
Exactly. That's like the only way.
You'll drive yourself mad if you're like, well, this rumor, this person said this. My uncle works at Nintendo. I have a friend that has a pigeon that flies over the Lego headquarters, and the pigeon dropped over. It's like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So has my internet messed up since I've been back?
No, it seems pretty smooth.
Yeah, no problem now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks for getting it figured out. I thought you were maybe clocking it like 5 minutes on the stream today.
No, I thought so too. I was banking on that, but then the internet was clearing up, so that's good. Brixar is going back to work. Enjoy your work, sir.
Yes.
Thanks for joining, Brixar.
We have quite the entertainment lineup here on Beyond the Brick for any of your working needs. So if you want to get something not done and pay attention to the voices of us, you can absolutely do that.
We've been keeping people unproductive since November of 2011.
Yep. And I've been unproductive since out the womb. So you know what? It's fitting that I'm here.
You didn't even have to discover YouTube to do that.
No, I was just sitting. I was bumming around, and I'm like, wow, I can be lazy here too.
What were some of your earliest YouTube memories or channels that you watched?
So I started YouTube in general in September 2009. And I remember that because it was my little cousin's birthday or christening or something. And my cousin was like, hey, here's this YouTube thing. And then you can find videos of Family Guy clips and whatever else on there. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. Do people do gaming? And it was like Mario Super Sluggers on the Wii that I would look up. And that was one of my first videos I ever did. So it was definitely more Wild West-like. I had a friend of mine who I still talk to today, who did a lot of Animal Crossing videos of Animal Crossing City Folk on the Wii. So he was one of the main content creators at 11,000 subscribers at the time. And one of the YouTube channels I watched forever was a microwaving show called Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This? And they would microwave anything, and they were actually from like a town over from where I lived. So it was very cool, New England based web series. And oh, go ahead.
Like the Will It Blend channel.
Yes, that is probably what inspired Will It Blend to do what they do today, that sort of idea. So it was definitely a different era back then, and I say that as the old man now, but it's definitely better now. There's more creators on here and more ideas to go around, and it's more professional than it's ever been before. It's great.
I've never heard of that microwave show. Jeff says he remembers it as well. I'll have to see if I can check out. So
sounds familiar.
Are they still around? Do you know, or is that?
No. So it was a group of guys, and you know that what happened to that channel is what's eventually going to happen here too. One of you is going to have kids, and then you're going to be like, all right, forget this. I'm going to go do something else, and then they all disband. So
yeah,
that's what seems to happen whenever there's like multiple people involved with different life plans and blah blah blah. So this person had a kid. This person moved to a shack in New Hampshire for no reason. This guy is editing for a company now, doing it on his own. So yeah,
it always disrupts plans when someone moves to a shack in New Hampshire.
That's what actually happened to him too. He bought a shack in New Hampshire. It's like, I'm going to renovate this place. It's like, no, you're not, and he never did. So it's like, all right, cool. Brian, what's your thoughts on the advent calendar for Harry Potter? Yeah, that got revealed officially, as far as I know. That was all of those outfits are based off of the gala ball from the fourth book. So I'm excited for it. I'm obviously gonna get it. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I never. So I'm a grown adult. I don't need to wait no 24 days of Christmas to open up my advent calendar. So I pop that all open with day one and take the figures and I'm done. So I have no self-control, but yeah.
You just open them all December 1st?
Absolutely. No, the second I get the set, and I'm like, all right, done. Cool. Put them on the shelf. Good.
One way to do it. Did you do me and my siblings, we did the Lego Advent calendars growing up, but back then, see that they only had like the city ones. It was before they did a lot of the licensed ones, so it wasn't as cool as what the kids can get today.
Yeah, I wasn't an Advent calendar kid growing up, but yeah, like when I worked at the store, the Lego store, and I'm like, all right, I can get this, and it was during my beginning years where it's like, oh, there's a discount here. Let me buy everything. And then I just got the advent calendar, tore it all open, get this thing, that thing, that thing. So
do employees get a discount at the Lego store?
Oh, absolutely they do. Yep.
Okay. I thought I had heard that, but yeah.
And it's a generous one. It's a generous one. And, being 18 years old with no obligations or sense of finances, like, well, I got nothing else to do, let me just spend it all on Lego. And like when you work at a Lego store and you get a discount, like your threshold in the beginning for like what you would normally get is lowered because you have that discount. So it's like, oh, I kind of want this set, let me just get it. That's at least how the culture in the store where I was. So like a lot of people would be like, all right, I want this set for this one piece or this one figure. I'm going to buy the whole set, which is not a good philosophy to have sometimes because you spend a lot of money that way for very little of what you actually want out of it, which is kind of dumb to me. And that's somebody who's done that for years that has finally been like, all right, I'm good. I don't need to do all this stuff and whatever. Like sometimes it's cheaper to get the set for just the figure instead of buying it on Bricklink, but that doesn't happen nearly as often. So when I first started out, it was like, all right, I'm going to buy all this stuff. And now I have 4 48-gallon bins full of just stuff I've accumulated over years, either through trading or, getting stuff on clearance or whatever. So it's just, it becomes a problem eventually. Yeah.
That's how you know you're a real fan.
A fan or hoarder or addict, whatever you want to call it. You'll get to that point eventually. It'd be very dangerous with the discount, of course. They always have those minifigs in smaller sets down the line. Exactly. But see, the thing is, Captain Murphy, when you're a part of the culture that's like, we got to get this right now, everybody gets it right now. It's literally like a collective like that. Like we're all like, all right, we're all gonna like, yeah, it's just, yeah.
In case you weren't aware, Lego is a cult.
Yes, to an extent, like everybody get like, yeah. I can see it. It can definitely get out of control if you don't mitigate what you collect. So so when I first started, I was like, all right, I'm going to collect all the Marvel stuff. And then eventually, as I bought the Marvel stuff, I remember getting the J. Jonah Jameson like Bugle Tower set.
Daily Bugle Showdown.
Yeah. And I realized like, oh, I only care about stuff that I see in the Marvel movies. So why do I care about Moon Knight right now or whoever this character is that I've never heard about? Like, why am I buying this stuff just to get this, like to have it? Like I should buy this because I really want it as a whole. So that's why I was like, all right, only Marvel movie stuff. And then the spending goes from, oh, I'm spending $1,000 a year to like, let's go like $400 a year. All right. You kind of, channel your energy and your finances and all that,
Be responsible with your money, kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Like you can still get the things you want to as long as you budget things right and you make a solid decision on it. Like I knew I wanted to get one of these busts just to see what the build was like, and the build is really weird. Like I'm on this right now, so in this camera I can actually do like super close-ups and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. But the inside is very like colorful, and there's some like 1x4s that are only connected with like 3 like bricks attached. It's kind of weird how it's built, but it's coming along so far. but I don't need to buy all of them to get the gist of what one of them is like. So, and Stud says, you leave my Moon Knight alone. I know, but like back in like 2012, whatever, 2014, like, you know, Moon Knight was nowhere near, like now it's getting a show. It's a bit more, you know, like mainstream eventually, you know.
That's a Marvel character?
Yes. Murphy says, I remember when they released the Infinity War sets right when I got my tax return, I had to have every single Infinity Stone. And that's how they get you too. They know.
That definitely was the thing. It was just like you want to get the gauntlet, but in order for you to complete the gauntlet, you have to get every single set. So back when I was working at the Lego store, that was like at the time I had more reason to get every single set because of the fact that I was working on Wakanda at the time. So it's like I need the sets so I can get the figures that I need to work on this mock. So that was that reasoning. But besides that, I didn't really buy many sets while I was working there. It was mainly just pick a brick because I needed parts more than sets. So that was like kind of my thing that I did.
Right, exactly. Why not just buy the Infinity Stones on Bricklink? But like, so were you working at the store at the time of the sets coming out?
Yeah, at the time of them coming out.
So the way it works, Vibe, like him getting those sets with the incentives that he has by working at the store, it's not worth getting them on Bricklink at that point. You just buy the set.
Just buy the set and get the other stuff that comes with it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, so the end game sets, like, you know, like if you were to choose between all the Infinity War sets or all the end game sets, like all the end game sets, they all have the same outfit and they don't have all the stones in all the sets, right?
So it's like, it's I think for the gauntlet, the set that comes with the gauntlet, I think that comes with all the Infinity Stones, if I remember correctly. And I think it's either it all comes in the compound or the compound comes with some of them and then the rest comes in the helicopter set that came out. I think it's one of those.
Yeah, something like that. Just build a city and then you have to buy a few sets a year and parts from Bricklink every day. Well, right, exactly. Then you're spending the parts every day. A little bit every day, sprinkle it all throughout.
Foolproof plan.
Yeah.
Exactly, right. Like, but I mean, it depends what you want to build too. Like, I know people that just stick to Technic or just to the modulars or just to Harry Potter. Like, there's all different ways that you can, but like, the thing I'm trying to get at is like, if you choose to collect something, collect like a very narrow sliver of something. Don't collect everything Lego. You'll go bankrupt. Like, it's going to take you way too long, and like, collect what you're passionate about. I think that's what collecting to me is. So
no, I agree.
So step one done. Moving on to the second portion. There's some great sideways building here for this part.
There you go.
And some blue and red inside. Got some nice masonry bricks around the bottom. Those bricks, ever since they first released those, have been some of my favorite pieces. They just look so nice.
Totally.
So, Brian, I don't know if I've ever gotten your full like history with YouTube. If we've ever sat down and had a conversation about that. Maybe you have, and I just don't remember, which could be the case.
So it's been like, you know, I've explained it here and there occasionally, but you know, I started in 2009 doing whatever, and then I had like a bunch of different YouTube channels that I worked on for myself. With my cousin or whatever, and then eventually, once I graduated high school, I did a lot of work for the Brick Show for many years, doing a lot of work on that channel, like news videos, reviews, all that sort of stuff.
What year was that you started with the Brick Show? Do you know?
2014 to 2018.
Oh, so that was a long time. Yeah.
It was a lot of time, and that was a lot of time and energy invested into that and getting that all built up. And then once that all situation unfolded and I ended up leaving, I was like, all right, let me do this on my own and figure things out. And I was actually very, very adamant on like not being in the Lego realm after all the stuff. So I'm like, all right, let me take a step back here. And I had been friends with like Kevin Hinkle for years, and he was one of the people that was like, all right, you're still around, people know who you are. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then it wasn't really until, because I was still like pulling back, that we met at Brick Fair. Well, because we had talked a couple of times, and even at like Brick World Chicago in 2018 or whatever. And then Brick Fair Virginia, when you were like, oh, hey, you want to help with the tour of the whole convention floor. And I'm like, all right, sure. And going to that show in general kind of roped me full back into everything, full force. And I'm like, all right, I guess here I am. Sure, cool. So I had no intentions of being like, I'm going to be a Lego YouTuber and do the whole, I'm going to be in the Lego Ambassador Network and blah, blah, blah. That was never what I wanted to do. But here I am, and I'm enjoying my time so far, man. So that's why I'm so grateful for the opportunity and, you know, being here and all that.
So what you're saying is you heard the rumors about the Mario sets coming out, and you're like, okay, now
You know,
I've got to get my hands on these somehow. So what can I do?
I wish I did. That would be the grandmaster plan, right? But, no, so I probably would have been, if I weren't doing this, I would definitely still be working at the Lego store. So that was my social outlet to like talk to people and like whatever.
Yeah.
So I would have gotten those sets, and with a discount, or like not early, but you know, with with more and like friends and fans around me in that respect. So like I would still be involved, but not to the extent that I was before. So
Right.
that's like a very brief synopsis of everything. But I have been like on the internet for years and seeing the tides turn, and you know, all sorts of different things.
So were you doing any of your own streaming while working for the Brick Show, or did you basically just exclusively do stuff for them and then start your own stuff afterwards?
Yeah, it was for them. And then when I went out on my own, like I wasn't doing as much live streaming as I wanted to do. I was doing more and more gameplay videos, but I wanted to do live streaming because there's like more interactivity and there's more collaboration within, you know, social networks, and it was just a different sort of atmosphere. So there was a lot of things that brought me to like not being on the Brick Show anymore and then wanting to do my own thing. So like doing things like this, I love doing this, like being able to talk to people and not just sit here for 10 hours a day all alone. I can actually bounce ideas off of people, and there's more collaboration than if I were doing something entirely solo. So that's that.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, it occurred to me that I don't think I'd ever gotten some of that history. So then with you and Kevin, did you just meet him online as like a fellow Mario fan, basically?
Not at all.
Oh,
so I told this story on my live stream, but I guess I'll tell it here.
Oh, sorry. I mean, you don't have to go into.
No, I will. No, I will. It's fine. It actually it's a better story to tell here. So I don't know why I told it on like a Friday live stream I did. So by me working at the Lego store, there was a lot of adult fans that are very passionate about Lego, very involved in the community, not the YouTube community, but like just in general. Where, oh, you know, this like if you're around the right types of people, kids, you'll start to like pick up things and information, and this person knows that person, that blah 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 blah. So at the time, the assistant manager of the store I worked at like knew Kevin and was very close with Kevin, and would like go over to his place and like help sort brick and like do all sorts of other things. And so because my personality is so beaming and shining all the time, my name came up with him and talking to Kevin Hinkle, who of which still worked at Lego at the time. So it was Brickfest, Massachusetts, I think 2017, 16, something like that. And Kevin, yeah, Hoosiers, like Kevin who, I know, right? And Kevin was there. And then the ASM introduced me. It was like, hey, this is Kevin. And then he's like, hey, this is that Brian guy I'm telling you about. And he's like, oh, that Brian? He's like, yeah. Oh, all right. And he gave me that look of like, I know about you, but I'm not telling you what I know about you. That sort of thing. I'm like, that's kind of concerning, but okay. So after that, I ended up talking with him. I don't even know how, but that initial connection was made there. And, you know, Kevin had left Lego and I was like, all right, whatever. I never really like Lego was, or rather Kevin was in the position he was in at Lego, but I never really cared that he was there. I wasn't like, oh, bow to the Hinkle. Like, no, it's Kevin. He's cool. And he's my friend.
No,
now,
you
so
must bow to the Hinkle.
Yeah, no, I'm all set. So talking to him through there, and it just kind of developed more than, you know, being him in that spot and me trying to get info from him or things from him. Like, I didn't care. Like, I don't care about getting any of that sort of stuff. None of that does anything for me. So we click really well. So that's how it sort of developed from that point into what it is now, which is why I had him in my office, and we can get lunch and not have it just be about, you know, content creation or business or whatever. Like, I actually get along with him outside of any of this stuff. And yeah, so that's how it kind of developed from there. Which is why I'm so supportive of like his art endeavors now, is because, you know, he's doing his own work as an artist and wanting to make a career out of that and really promote that. And, you know, he had his time working for the big red brick in the sky, and that's great. And, you know, I had my time. Everybody, for the most part, except seemingly the Hanlons, have paid their dues in retail. Kevin did too. So, you know, it's like a not a rite of passage, but, you know, it's most of the people that I have met that are in the online space in some way, like Brick and Nick, you know, I didn't know you did, Kirk, like me. There's a bunch of people that have all been, you know, have clocked in and clocked out there. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, John and I have not entered the retail fray up to this point.
Yep. I know Mike, Cool Factor Mike, obviously contributor Mike did. Like it's like I don't know what to compare it to, but like it's like, it's weird that so many people have done at least a little bit of time with that, you know. I hope you made Kevin pay for lunch. Oh, so he actually does owe me money, but we paid for our own lunch. Not, yeah.
It has been very nice to see Kevin once he left the company to continue in the community doing the art, and he seems to be doing well with it. It seems to keep him busy. A lot of people have projects for him, so I was really happy to see him continue doing that.
Yeah, and a lot of people really like his Lego art, and the Lego art is great, but he's also a fantastic artist regardless. So there's more to his work than just doing, you know, minifig, sig fig commissions and whatever else. So like, I have him do a lot of my branding stuff, like when he's not busy doing sig figs constantly. He'll do some work for me. So like, he's a very talented artist, and, you know, he's went to school for it. So it's like, yeah, he's going to be.
He learned something somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's always common courtesy in a live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Mute the microphone when you open a bag. You just do it, you know? Just so you know.
Very thoughtful.
Yes. I know you do, Joshua. I just wanted to have that as a public service announcement to anybody out there.
I try to do my best with that.
Yes, you totally do.
You'll get a lot of experience with that on the 24-hour live stream, Brian. I
haven't mentally prepared for that. I haven't. That's gonna be like the whole life story. The whole, like, this gonna be tears involved, and a Lifetime movie script made. Man, I'm not ready for that one.
So is it confirmed now that this is happening?
Nope.
I've not sat down and had a serious conversation with Brian about it, so that still needs to happen.
There needs to be logistics involved, and the most important thing of all, there needs to be a lot of support with the live stream and the contributions to whatever charity is supported, whether
Creations for Charity.
Sure.
Yeah. So whatever campaign there is for it, better be full force if I'm staying up 24 hours at this point, man.
I've been very impressed. Every year we raise a considerable amount of more money over the previous year, which is very nice. So it used to be we kind of just got the set donations from Lego, and that was pretty much it. But now I think we've done it enough years. People know it's happening every year and are always very generous with their monetary donations as well. So it's been good.
Yep. And it better keep up. It better stay that way, and that's what'll drive me to stay awake as long as the people are there. And that's what I always say with my live streams is, if you're there to contribute to the chat in a positive way and you're going to be a good influence, then I'll keep going all day long. Like, that's what I stand by.
Brian will save up his worst retail horror stories for the 24-hour live stream.
I got some good ones.
Yep. I've never met anyone who works retail that didn't. So
yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, I've had some interesting stuff during my time.
But you've got to wait to support Creations for Charity on the 24-hour live stream to hear them.
Precisely.
Yes.
If Kevin can do it, you can do it. Yeah, you have way too much faith in me, Hoosier. I don't know, man. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here quite yet. I value sleep considerably, so I gotta mentally prepare for that one.
You don't have a child you have to drive to was it work or school with not sleeping for 30 hours.
That's true. I don't have that obligation. Just as an update to the Iron Man here. You don't have to put me full screen. I'll just show it. There you go. There's a back.
It's looking good.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm not for certain. I think the only way to find out is if you were to answer it. Did you go to Brickfest? I think this is Brickfest Atlanta, Brian.
I might have one of those years.
Because it was only one Brickfest. Well, that I know of, there was only one for Brickfest Atlanta.
Yes, I think I helped run the booth.
Like 2017.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then we did meet because I remember that was my first Lego convention that I went to, and I think at the time Brick Show was still a thing, and so I had walked up to the booth. And I believe it was you that signed it, the book that I had brought. And I think, can't remember the other guys' names now because it's been so long. But the other two that were there. I think it was the three of you guys that had signed it. So yeah, I was just remembering that.
You cared enough to have me sign it. That's crazy. All right.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know, because at the time Brick Show was a thing, and I was like, before I started my channel. That was like way before that. So I didn't start my channel until after, like a couple of months after Brickfest Atlanta. Mainly because I spoke to one of the people that was running the events for Brickfest. And so he was like, he saw some of my creations. He was like, go ahead and start a channel. I think the stuff that you're building, people will really enjoy it. And, it'll allow you to express your creativity and to, encourage other people to, in the mock building hobby to inspire them with certain creations. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do that. And eventually it started off where I was doing stop motions. That came to a halt immediately because it's something about stop motions. I don't know. Like when you first start off with them, they just are not the best. And so at that time, I was just like, you know what? One or two, that's good enough for me. And that's it. And then I just kind of went to doing like live streams where I would build stuff live. And then eventually I started making videos because I noticed that I needed to kind of balance out my content where it wasn't only live streams. It was like live streams once in a while and more so videos where I could be able to explain mocks more in depth. So that was that whole process. And then eventually went to more conventions, for example, Philly Brickfest, then Brick Fair, Virginia. What was that? Last year. Was it last year? No, it was last year. Last year was Brickfest, Virginia. So did that. And then I think you were at Brick Fair, right?
Brian,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I said hi to you.
I'm trying. Oh, you know what? Oh God, I'm thinking.
Did you mistake me some other really good-looking famous guy? Come on,
no,
Kirk, really?
I'm thinking. No, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Brickfest, Philly Brickfest. I'm having a Coco and Moana situation
Yeah, you
now.
are.
Oh God, now I'm
Philly
I'm
Brickfest,
going
I
Brian.
was at too. I
man.
went there not with Kevin. Who did I stay with? Who did I stay with? Joey. I stayed with Joey Maluzzo. Yes.
Okay.
Maniac for Bricks, the legend. I stayed with him.
Yeah.
That was a time. I remember going to that show and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be there like Wednesday," and that was when Avengers: Infinity War was coming out, and I'm like, I can't miss this movie with my friends.
Wait.
So I had to stay behind the 2 days the show was going on and watch it with my friends, then drive to Philadelphia the next.
Which year was this? Because Avengers.
The last time we had it.
Last time we had it, because the last time you guys had it, I was. Wait.
It was supposed to happen this year in April. It never happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we didn't go to that one, of course. So before that, I think the one in 2019, because that's when, if I remember correct. No, Infinity War came out 2018, not 2019, right? Or was it 2019?
2018.
2018. Okay, so that was 2018. I went to. Now I'm confused. I know one of these years I missed out on Philly. I didn't go, and it was mainly because I was supposed to go see. No. Now it's coming back to me. Okay, there we go. It's coming back to me now. I'm thinking Endgame. I went to see Infinity War after Philly. I think it was because that's when I was just getting back, and we were like on the road trying to get back immediately because I was going to see it with one of my former colleagues from the Lego store. We had planned to go watch it in the theater that was at the mall. And then Endgame came out. That's another story. We ended up seeing that when I was in Georgia. But Infinity, I was trying to remember which one it was. 'Cause I know it was some crazy story. I was either going to choose not to go to Philly because I wanted to see Infinity War, or I was going to make a workaround for me to be able to see Infinity War and still go to Philly. It was one of those situations. But yeah.
I remember there was this grandmaster plan to see. So Philly Breakfast happened last year.
It did. Yeah, it did.
That must. And Joshua, you were there.
Yes.
And you did. Is that when you interviewed Kevin about the Mario thing?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so that was last year. Okay, so it was Endgame. That's why I didn't go immediately. And what was I just gonna say? Something. I totally lost my train of thought. Oop.
Yes, that's when we interviewed Kevin. I think the previous year is when he sat down with his Pokemon builds and explained that to me for half an hour. And then last year is when we interviewed him about his Mario Nintendo builds.
Yeah. I remember going to Philly and just like scoping everything out and being there. And that drive was kind of long too. That was a very, very long excursion, that whole thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big Tank says, Joshua, are you a fan of the new Mario sets? Personally, I'm not a fan. Can we get a ban for Big?
I redirect all Mario questions to Brian.
Yes. I am excited, and everybody should be too. Everybody, buy all of them.
The only way we're gonna get Peach's Castle, right, Brian?
No, that's hey. one day, man. I'm telling you.
That's
what you keep telling me.
That's what I keep telling myself. One day at a time,
I mean, personally, I feel like the theme is getting just, like I said, I think I've said this before, the theme is just getting a bit too much of a disliking at the moment. I feel like people aren't willing enough to test it out. Personally.
Before we get into this tangent, then Mr. Hinkle shows up and says, I've arrived. What if I missed literally everything, Kevin?
Oh, Kevin.
Oh, man.
Explain the tragic backstory and how we met again. But yeah, so that was something that I didn't know if I wanted to bring up or talk about or whatever, but I guess since you brought it up, Kirk, I will.
Yeah.
So I reviewed every single one of the Mario sets except for the character packs because they didn't send us a case along with everything else, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I, obviously, big Mario fan, big Lego fan, big, very passionate about these Mario sets, right? Regardless of whether it's exactly what I wanted or not. And just seeing not all of the comments, but a lot of the comments just being like, this is dumb. I hate it. Like, why isn't this minifigures? And it's like, man, this is like clearly for kids. The NES is made for adults. And it's like, you gotta have an open mind about this stuff. Like, it's not what you want, but who's to say that wouldn't have, there's not possibility for that to be so in the future, and what it means for Lego and Nintendo to collaborate in the first place. And, and more personally, I put my everything into those reviews, and to have as much of a critical eye as I can. Then people are like, oh, this is dumb. It's like, well, so that was very, not gonna lie, discouraging seeing comments like that, just bashing it without seeing what it really is about,
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of negativity the Mario sets have gotten. I don't know, I don't really understand why. Since people haven't even tried them out yet.
Right.
Exactly. Like they're not coming out until, what is this, August 1st, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks, a week.
Yeah.
We can
so it's like, I mean, you can't badmouth something that hasn't even released yet. It's I don't know. Like, I feel like personally, give it a try, then you'll know your real opinion on it. If you don't want to risk, but I mean, if you don't enjoy it, I'm sure you could always return it. That's always that option. So it's like, I feel like in regards to Brian's videos here, personally, in my opinion, I think he's been doing a great job. I'm not just saying that because he works with us or because he's my friend. I'm saying that because I genuinely enjoy the content that he's been producing for it. And it's just like, in my opinion, I feel like even if you still don't like the theme, fine, that's your opinion. But I feel like at the end of the day, Brian has been putting a lot of his passion towards the videos, and this is something that he enjoys doing. So I feel like you should still be able to enjoy the video for that aspect, but to still see like those comments in the comment section and just that whole thing, it just feels like, I don't know. And I mean, like, at the end of the day, also another thing, if you guys aren't gonna like test it out, then the minifigure sets or minifigure scale sets that you're saying that you guys want, how is that ever going to happen if you guys don't support what we're getting already? So I mean, I don't know.
What I have thought is like, all right, so if all of, and like, so Beyond the Brick, I feel like the audience is like not suited for video game type stuff anyways, because there's a lot of like Star Wars fans out there. Obviously, there's a lot of military related stuff because you guys in Brickmania and the more like teen adult audience in general. So like, there's a difference between me covering it on the channel as opposed to Just Too Good covering it on his channel, where his audience is very much so more into video games and that sort of thing than Beyond the Brick. The audience, I would assume, is
right.
But it's like, okay, if I review the NES and then that doesn't get received well because people are like, this is dumb, I hate it, then like what's the point of even me like covering these sets if it's just going to get dunked on every time I try to, not biased standpoint of view? Like it's like, it's so discouraging.
Yeah.
Which is just me venting at this point, but
I'm sorry you feel that way, and I know that's been the struggle. I mean, obviously, our channel is not built around reviews. Reviews are something in the overall history of Beyond the Brick are a relatively new thing that we've focused on, mostly because we have had a great relationship with the Lego company itself, and they're willing to send sets, and we're like, okay, well, let's give this a try. Then we had lots of good contributors who are willing to do stuff.
Right.
So it is something we've tried for some years now. But yeah, have been figuring out that obviously a lot of them don't do as well as like convention interviews or some of our other content. So I think we're becoming more selective with what we do as far as like review stuff goes.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And Mario is a new thing. It's not only not what the audience is used to, but it's also a new thing for Lego that wasn't received immediately well. Like it doesn't hit in the same way. So like yeah, I understand why it's not resonating in the same way, but it just sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like, and I want to do a good job for anyone at Lego who's watching. Like, hey, let me endorse this product. Not that you're paying me to do so, but let me show my passion in these videos. And you know, clearly Lego likes Beyond the Brick and wants to hook us up, you guys up with opportunities to be involved in the championship is so cool and such an honor, especially because I'm not in the LAN. I'm not a part of the cool kids club technically. So like, who am I to have any of these sets and review them and whatever? Like, I'm just thankful for even being considered in the first place. So I want to make sure I do a good job for, you know, not only Lego, but you guys, Josh and John too.
Right.
Like it all plays into itself. So I'm like, man, that's been bugging me for like, and I've talked about it with a few people, but yeah, it's bugged me for a while. Yeah, Kirk knows. I've talked to him.
Yeah, we have.
And I think you have been doing a good job, for the record, on the Mario videos and everything. And yeah, I mean, the unfortunate truth is just some stuff isn't going to be as popular, and you know, our audience isn't going to watch everything. So
yeah.
Kevin says he relates it to pouring hours and hours into a piece of artwork only to have people tell him what he should have done.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately the balance of being a creator and a creative in general. Like, I mean, I've talked to Kevin about it ad nauseum, as opposed to working on something he loves and putting Baby Yoda on a sticker and calling it a day. Like, I think there's balance to it, and I guarantee you, if Lego came out with the minifig stuff, with if they launched with a UCS Peach's Castle, like everyone's minds would explode immediately. But that's not the approach they're going with, and this approach makes sense to me as somebody like who can be unbiased and look at it from a different perspective and step out of my own wants and desires to look at this as it is. Like, the moment they're trying to sell is when the father buys the NES on August 1st with his kid. The kid gets the starter pack, and then the kid puts the Mario on top of the TV and they bond together. That's what that is. That's that moment. That's what that is all about. So people need to see that and not just complain, which is a lot of what I've been seeing. And I've seen a lot of compliments too. Shout out to all the people that have complimented not only the Mario sets in general, but like the way I've presented the information and gone about it. They haven't been perfect, obviously, and I'm always working to do better. All of us are always working to do better. Yeah. But it for what it is, I'm just doing, you know, my best and improving along the way. So thank you to everybody who gave it a fair shake or just wanted to support it because it's Beyond the Brick or otherwise. There's my soapbox. Sorry.
It's good to work through these things. You know, it can be very frustrating making content on the internet. So
yes. And you know what? The most amazing thing. So all of the problems that people have had with Lego Super Mario, like, why does this thing not charge with a cord? I've had parents on my Facebook page be like, oh my goodness, there's batteries, good. I don't have to worry about another cord or something. Well, why aren't there instructions paper in the thing? And then parents are like, well, that's great because then my kids won't rip the instructions and lose them. It's all right there in the app. Like, it's so weird how like just tapping into that different audience of like this different perspective is so, it can change the whole narrative, and like how so many other people like appreciate it in a much different way. It's so interesting, and it always blows my mind every time it happens, which it happens frequently.
And Lego knows that. I mean, they do so much in testing with kids.
They know that better than the people who don't understand, that are complaining on a forum or in a comment section. Like they clearly have the market research. They've done the testing. They do all of that. Like, you know, it is what it is. Milan says, Brian, to be fair, your Mario reviews are better than if Jang would have done them. You definitely see how much work has been put into them. So I know that's the joke. Do you think Jang can do this? But Jang is going to come from a much more unbiased perspective because he doesn't care about Mario at all. So I think I already know how he'll feel about it, and he won't be wrong, but it's just a matter of communicating that in his own way. Like, it's clearly for kids. It's not for adults. It's cool technology. It's pricey. Get the sets that you want. These sets are not designed for you to get one of everything. They're designed for you to pick and cherry pick what you want and build on it over time. But Mario is so cool and makes it look so much more alive than any other Lego thing you've ever had in your life. So I think that's what he would say too. So I don't know if I've heard any of his opinions on this stuff either. So
yeah, I don't know if we got his thoughts on the Mario stuff when we had him on. So
I mean, Andres was so infatuated with asking so many questions, which is a good thing. But if he does come on another time, I'd love to be able to talk to him about the reception of things, how his opinion might sway other people to feel another way, whether he agrees or disagrees. Like that's a whole other topic of conversation in itself.
Right. Yeah. He's good at sharing those thoughts.
I see this as a proper step in the collaboration of the two companies. They both represent fun, creativity, and play. I don't think a display model can convey that. And you know what, Trent? You're saying that because you're a smart guy. And you have the ability to step outside of what you might want for what it is. But unfortunately, and that's the internet in general. People post their opinions, whether you ask for them or not, and whether they're properly articulated or not. So I appreciate that you feel that way and have that perspective. So I wholeheartely agree. And that's not me being critical of the Beyond the Brick audience specifically either. That's just the internet in general. That's everywhere I've seen it. Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go on Reddit talking about Lego Super Mario. Oh,
is it bad over there?
You would think the devil ascended from the crust of the earth to inflict the pain of Mario into the Lego. This doesn't comply with Lego core values. And I'm what the get out of here. What are you talking about? Get your ignorant, no good opinion out of my face, you whatever you are, A-fall.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I said, if that NES doesn't satisfy, and then I looked at the comments on the NES set, and everyone's like, "This is amazing." You can clearly tell it's like the nostalgia of the 1980s, like, you know, right injected into their veins. It's like, yeah, Lego knows how to get you. They know how to get you.
And I mean, that does come back to the fact that we are an AFOL channel primarily geared towards adults, and so. As you pointed out,
on Reddit. I didn't mean on the Beyond the Bricks.
No, going back to what you were saying earlier, as you pointed out, the initial line of Mario sets is aimed at kids, and so I guess it shouldn't be too surprising that our primarily adult audience who is looking for products for themselves would maybe not find them enjoyable. But it is disappointing that they also can't kind of broaden their perspective enough to see outside of their own interests, like you were saying. And realize why Lego would release this type of set, and what their goal is with this, and maybe the other stuff they want to do with Mario down the line.
And like the parents I've talked to are all like, "This is awesome! Like this is so cool!" And it's such a bonding thing for parents and kids, and it's such a different perspective. And you know, Kevin says, "Don't go on Reddit" is one of my personal beliefs anytime. And you know what? I'm not on the Lego subreddit. I actually unsubscribed from it a while ago because of just the bias that a lot of fans have toward one thing or another. But that's just my own taste, which is why I jokingly, obviously, poke fun at all the old people loving classic space and cowboys and pirates and whatever. That's where that.
Did you just call me old?
Yes, you are absolutely an old man in a young man's body. 100,000. Don't ever get that twisted. You absolutely.
Oh man, you're not wrong.
Yeah, like you love all the different war vehicles and the history, and you are dead set on. If you had like a tweed jacket and a pipe, you'd be set. Totally set.
Not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, right.
No, I skipped. You know how like there's the stereotype of like, dads when they hit like 60 and they all suddenly become super interested in the Civil War and World War II history.
Yeah.
I just skipped right ahead to that stage. I did very early part of my life.
Right. And like obviously there's some merit to all of those classic themes and how they go about, redoing that. I think like Barracuda Bay is like if you're a fan of classic Lego and
Yeah.
you don't like that set, you don't like Lego. Like that is the perfect like homage while keeping it new and fresh. Like that is a perfect Lego set. And as far as I know, with all the stores that I visited and talked to, you still can't get it in stores. Even like you can get the haunted house now, but you can't get that. Like it's that is one of the perfect Lego sets for an adult fan of Lego. It's amazing, and I like it as a newer fan who has no connection to pirates. I don't care about Barracuda, like the ship. I don't care. It's just a great set.
That's one of the sets I want to build on the 24-hour live stream this year. It's one of my set. I try to keep in mind because there's literally 24 hours. It's you got to have a lot to do, or just one UCS Millennium Falcon that also works.
Right.
But so I try to keep in mind like throughout the year, like what's kind of a cool set that I would enjoy, because it is so long, you want something that's enjoyable.
Yeah,
so,
that is definitely one you would enjoy, and it won't take you all 24 hours, obviously.
Yeah, don't underestimate my powers, Brian.
It's very good. It's very, very good. Ever since Brian divulged his affection for Johnny Thunder and the Adventurers line, his jab at old Lego fans lost its power. Yeah, that's true. And I've been very, very transparent about being a hypocrite sometimes. So you know what? That's fine. I wholeheartedly accept that. Let's see. Easy Brian, I was born today in 78. I'm vintage, not old. Happy birthday, Stud Sidious. I would do the hype horns on my soundboard if I could, but I can't. So happy birthday, sir. And yes, you are ancient. Ancient. Put you in the mausoleum. You're done. Wrap it up.
I wish we could be able to connect your sound effects board up for the stream.
Yeah, I think that would require too much technology, and then you'd have to summon John back in here. It's a whole big thing.
Are you gonna do any NES streams with the set coming out?
Yeah, so I plan on streaming it. So I haven't gotten any confirmation email on it as far as I know, which if I don't get it within the next couple of days, then that means it's going to get very close to August 1st. So that'll be interesting to see, when that arrives and launches and all that. Yeah, I see nothing.
Oh, so, I meant gaming. Like, can you stream yourself playing NES games? Have you done that before?
I thought you meant streaming the build.
That too as well. But
yeah, well, the build I'm going to stream on my Twitch. It'll take me forever, but I'll do it. And I've done NES games before, and it's good to go back to them and play them. And I obviously respect what it is. And I'm just too used to modern game design as it is. So like I'm like a young kid when it comes to playing Super Mario Brothers, where I get aggravated that there aren't, multiple more lives, and it's definitely a bit more challenging. So like, and they perform relatively okay video wise, but like Kevin loves Earthbound, so he'd love for me to play through Earthbound, but like, would my audience care? What is it? Is it something I really want to play? Like, kind of not really. Like,
sorry, Kevin.
So yeah, there's been like an Earthbound game in limbo being released in the US for like the better part of 20 years. So like, hey, it's just kind of whatever.
Earthbound is one of those games I can remember Kevin mentioning and probably trying to explain to me in the past that I didn't understand.
Yeah, that sounds just about right. My disappointment mounts. Yes, it does. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm very sorry. I know Earthbound is a great game, but in that same light, the modern day equivalent to that is Undertale. So I have played Undertale and I enjoyed it, so I'd probably enjoy Earthbound as well. Just challenge your fans to Dr. Mario for a whole stream. Ooh, that might get a little too intense for my liking. I don't know, man. Trying to coordinate a bunch of 6-year-olds to build a pirate ship in Minecraft is already a big enough feat as
So when you do those streams, you like with how many different gaming streams do you play with your fans? You let fans come in, and do you do that with Fortnite as well?
So depends on the week how I'm feeling. So this past Monday and the last Monday before it, I did a Minecraft build where I was like, all right, I'm going to open up a server, and whoever gets in there first all has to build a part of the prompt. So the first week, or last week rather, was everybody building a pirate ship. And some people build all the pirate ship, or they go off task and do whatever, then I just kick them, and then new people show up, or they apologize and get to focused on the task. So Minecraft is a good collaboration game like that. And if I'm feeling good, then I'll play Fortnite on Fortnite Fridays, which I'm getting more testy with as time goes on, because it's gotten to the point where kids, all they want to do is emote in front of me and follow me everywhere I go in the live stream. And it's like, you know, I will very clearly say in the stream, like, hey, focus on the goal, focus on this, focus on that, and nobody listens. And then when we play a mode, just us playing a mode, it's a bunch of, kids that will, destroy me, and then they'll emote in front of me and show off, and it's like, all right, I'm not having fun. Get this out of here. So, depending on how I feel, I either will do Fortnite or I won't do Fortnite.
I see.
Which is leaning more toward not enjoying it, so I don't do Fortnite recently, but. So, yeah.
Moving on to step 3, which is building some trees here.
Yeah.
I've never made it to Washington, D.C. during the cherry blossom season that everyone talks about, because I'm only ever there during the absolute worst week of the year when Brick Fair, Virginia happens, and it's the hottest week of the year and the worst time to be outside.
Yeah. I ended up staying a week after Brick Fair, Virginia to see everything and do most of what I could. It was very, very hot, but it wasn't. Right now it's sweltering 100 degrees. It wasn't 100, but it was hot.
John and I was like, well, I guess we'll go try to survive and see some things in Washington, D.C. after the show.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately, this year there was a lot of things that were closed for renovation, so that stunk. Like the Washington Monument was closed.
Oh yeah,
they're renovating a lot of different things.
The
memorial.
The new International Spy Museum had recently opened last year, so that was very cool.
Yeah. I like Washington, D.C. That whole area is very nice on the National Mall. It's a good trip to take at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Lights show-offs. Well, we were already down there for business, I guess. So it's why not, if you have the availability to do it, stay an extra couple of days. And most of the things to do down there are free to get into the museums and stuff. So it's not like you're paying bucket loads of money to get into all these places. Not typically, at least.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. So I ended up staying relatively close to the National Mall in the Marriott, JW Marriott Hotel, but I split it with 2 of my other friends. So it wasn't as much money, obviously. And I was like, all right, we're right by the National Mall. We can walk everywhere. But I didn't realize that you can just rent these scooters and drive around everywhere in DC. And I'm like, man, this is so cool. So, next time I go, I'm going to stay a little bit further away and use the scooters everywhere. It was so much fun.
That does sound like fun.
Yeah. So because instead of walking everywhere, you literally rent a scooter for 10 minutes and it's $3. You're like, well, why not? I'll save myself a half hour walking in the heat.
It's a little DC pro tip for all the kids out there.
Yeah, there you go. Golden Light went to the Spy Museum when they had the 50th anniversary James Bond stuff. That's cool. CC says it's really fun. You need a whole day to read everything and play the game. Exactly. Totally.
You do, yeah. It's very impressive.
All the museums, you could take like a solid day to walk around and see everything.
I know that it's so frustrating to me. One of my biggest complaints with museums around the world is how early they close, because it's so annoying because they all kind of have the same hours. And so if you basically, if it's a big one, well, you kind of need to spend all day there, so you can only see one in a day basically. I wish more museums, and there's a very small number of them that do some cool stuff in the like will stay open later in the evening, but I wish a lot more museums did that.
Yeah, most of the people that go, I feel like, are like, the family that has kids that are like, all right, we're not going to spend all day here. We're just going to, show up for a little while and that's it. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I agree. There should be staying open a little later. Let's see. Fair enough. I can see that. Yeah. I heard the Spy Museum was pretty cool. I didn't get a chance. They were closed, right?
They opened up a new building last year. Their old building was much smaller, much less impressive. The new space is really, really fantastic.
Yeah. Joshua's cameras are perfectly aligned to make it look like he has super short body. Pretty close.
Had not thought of that. That's a little build cam feature.
So what's cool is for the 24-hour stream, I believe StreamYard allows you to have up to 10 people in a stream now. So you could have like multiple build cameras and stuff. That'd be cool.
Oh, do they do? Because they had 10 last year when we did this 24-hour live stream, and then they went down to 6. So are they back to 10?
It might be back to 10.
Okay.
I've seen people do 10. It might be for the paid version, which you guys have, but yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Because that would be, I was actually concerned about that for the 24-hour live stream this year. I was like, well, if we can only do 6 and 2, there's 2 of us are in there the entire time, well, then that really limits the number of, people we can have in the stream.
Yeah, totally. We are back to 10. Okay, cool, CC. Good to know.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, well, that will be nice. Because I love this platform. It's so simple. It's great to use. I like StreamYard.
Totally.
Not a sponsor, but, if they want to, we'll certainly do that.
Commander Delta in the chat is like, why did you say that Solid Brick Studios Mandalore mock was only nice? It's a nice mock. Wait, did I say that? Who said that?
No. Oh, so that's so John. Wow.
What do you want us to say? That it's like
man.
John went on and left a comment on drops and pieces on David Hall's his finished video on his whole thing, and was like, what did he say? He just said like looks pretty nice or something like that. And then there were so many comments, and this like massive fight broke out about like, what, you guys don't think this is a good build?
Oh
like,
my goodness!
People going back and forth, and it was like clearly a joke, like a funny comment.
Yeah, right, of course.
So many people were like offended on behalf of David that we would go on this video and say that, even though we've covered like tons of David's builds and are big fans of what he does. We've
had him on here before.
Yeah, they're like way too many people that didn't realize that was a joke and took it way too seriously.
And not for nothing, it is nice. Like,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you want to say? It's really nice.
We love David's stuff. His crate build has been very, very popular on the channel. It's got like 1.5 million views or something like that.
Yeah, and he totally decked out Mandalore like that. I don't know how, like, the patience and the time and the everything, like, man, just that's such an undertaking. And the space, and my goodness, such a big thing.
So Golden Light asks, how do you do multiple cameras on StreamYard? So this build cam is connected to a different computer, and we just have that sitting to the side and brought that computer into StreamYard. So that's how I'm doing that.
Yeah, exactly. StreamYard is nice, but it doesn't have the best quality a lot of the time. So like when we come through here, it looks kind of iffy. I don't
Right. No, that is true. I mean, it's not, it's not like if you were going for the absolute best, like looking picture and quality and like the, the graphics that you can get with OBS and all of that. StreamYard doesn't do that, but the simplicity of it, I think, makes up for that very much so, especially with something like the 24-hour live stream where we have lots of people coming and going. Keeping things simple is well worth it.
Totally, yeah. Makes sense.
Commander Delta says he found you on Amazon Prime, Brian.
There you go. Hey, and if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. You got a free sub. You can go over to the Twitch channel. You can subscribe there. You can use it on any creator. You can use it on Brick and Nick.
Beyond the Brick gives their free sub to Brian every month. So
yeah, not a paid one that reoccurs. Every 30 days, you have to re-up the sub. It's not a automatic thing, so I'm offended that you have to manually. I'm not just on the payroll already. You know?
I know.
Love the support. No, it's all good. It's all good. I like how Kirk just slid back into frame. Says the list.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
All right. So I finished the set now. We're finished rebuilding it. Yep.
Tell us your thoughts on the Rialto Bridge there.
Give us your harsh review. The most critical review Beyond the Brick has ever seen.
This thing is terrible. Honestly, I don't know what Lego was thinking about when they did it. They really should have just took those pieces and, just
They
put
should
them
have
in
made
trash
more
bin.
Mario sets with them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Take those pieces and just use it towards Peach's Castle for Brian. Just do that.
It all comes back to Peach's Castle. It's almost as if it should,
Oh man. But no, I still like the set. The reason why I rebuilt it though was because, like I said, it was sitting in the closet still since I had taken it apart, due to moving and stuff. So I'm just rebuilding it, and then I'm either gonna move one of these sets that's up here on the shelf and put that up there instead, or figure something out. Eventually, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have more shelves put up around the room for other stuff.
Let's see. What's everyone's favorite Lego sets? Josh and Brain, you can answer that. So I bought this. So what I usually come up with is like a joke that is pertaining to that, but my brain can't function. So I don't know. I have no idea.
We only answer that if you make a donation to Creations for Charity. That's the new policy with our favorite sets. You have to make a donation to a Lego charity of your choice, and then we'll answer that question.
Yep, exactly. So how to
you can watch the 40-minute video that Kevin and I made. That's the other option, with your ad blocker off.
With the ad blocker. The entire thing.
All 40 minutes.
Yep. Get that watch time up.
Yeah. 40-minute Lego Western video that's on the channel.
All right. So I'm just about done with this. Okay. All right. We have the Iron Man right here.
Ooh.
It does not look like a pouty baby face. I can confirm. It looks pretty solid compared to what the actual build, or rather what the actual helmet looks like. It seems like should it be a little bit slimmer? I can't really. Yeah, it's a bit too square. Like it should be a little bit taller, maybe. But
okay.
For what it is, it's cool. It's it's $60. It's 560 pieces, so it's a solid build, and it will look great on your shelf too. That's what it's really for. So, as a display piece, yeah, it works. It's good.
Nice. So, did you say that's the only of the bus series you've gotten?
Yes. Yeah, that is the only one I kind of wanted to get. The Boba Fett is cool. The other ones are cool, but I haven't had an innate desire to get any of the rest of them. So, and that's all the other Mario sets over there. The sealed ones over there. So there's the Bowser's Castle. that I got for winning or coming in second place with the championship. So, yeah, it's cool stuff.
You've had a lot of Mario products coming and going.
I feel very, very privileged. Very like, wow. How does this even happen? Like, it's been like a overload, really. So I have the starter course, Bowser's Castle, Toad Treasure Hunt, Piranha Plant, and Boomerbill all sealed back there. Then all of the other copies are over there, opened and built and like on a table. So
you can find reviews of all of those on Beyond the Brick.
Yes, you can. And nice comments only, please.
Yes. Okay, don't hurt Brian's feelings, okay, kids?
You hurt my feelings. That's bad.
Okay, it gets real expensive for us when we keep having to buy him Dunkin' Donuts and Chipotle gift cards because his feelings are hurt.
Right, exactly.
Speaking of eating, somebody, let's see. Brick Star Wars said he was eating a Chicago style hot dog for lunch. Was that at Portillo's? Because that sounds like the type of place where you'd get something like that. Shout out to Portillo's if anyone hasn't tried it. It's great.
I thought Portillo's was just okay. I don't know. I like the hot dog with the pickle slice in it. It being like almost the same amount of like matter as the hot dog.
No, okay. Well, see, that's the problem. You got to get the Italian beef. That's where it's at.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's what they're most known for.
Is there any bus you would like to see Lego make based off their current themes? I think a really cool Bowser one could be made. If I had to pick another theme that wasn't Mario, I think, well, it's not a bust. Hedwig is really cool. That the buildable Hedwig for Harry Potter.
Hedwig is the bird thing?
Yeah.
The
Owl.
what?
The it's like a bird or something, right?
It's an owl.
Okay.
An owl that approves you to go to Hogwarts, sir. Hedwig.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. A Mandalorian bust, but they already did Boba Fett, you know? Like, Mando would just be basically a reskin at that point. They did a Stormtrooper. Well, I feel like if you do a humanoid character, it's not going to pull off. It's not going to be as well done, you know? I don't know off the top of my head what like a Lego theme would be good. They technically did not do Darth Vader in this style. They had the one that was a Target exclusive, I think, before that one, but they haven't done a bust of Darth Vader.
I'd like to see a like something that would go very well with architecture type sets, like historical figures busts, something along those lines. I think could be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, once you open that can, though, it's like, all right, well, if you do, let's say George Washington, then you can't keep it biased to just America. So then who do you do based off of Europe? And then someone from Asia or whatever, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, helmets work best. That the same philosophy works with the buildable figures that came out. So the not Bionicle, not Hero Factory Star Wars figures, like they came out for Rogue One and all that. Those ones, the humanoid ones, have very interesting interpretations for human faces. The human faces look awesome, but human faces, like in a specific style, can either work or not work. And for those, considering a lot of them went on clearance relatively quickly, did not work. But General Grievous was really cool and it was really big for what you got. So
you're like, you people have seen a human face before, right?
Yes. And that Jyn Erso, man, it's not great. It is not great at all, man. Oh. But you know, yes,
we
it happens.
should be careful because you never know when maybe a Lego designer will pop into one of these. We don't want to be too harsh.
I would love to get more insight on that, and that's what perspective I try to come out with is like, all right, instead of berating and being like, well, this is poorly done and you should feel bad. Like what was the philosophy behind that design? Like who decided on that? And do you attribute it to the molding of the plastic in the way it was, or the art style? Like what was it with those sets in specific? What was it? So
Right. No, that's a good attitude to have, because there are lots of behind the scenes limitations that Lego designers have. And so there are reasons for the way all these things come out looking the way they do, whether it's really good or really bad. There's reasons for it.
And when you have a Lego designer in front of you, you're absolutely as tough as nails as you think you are. You're not going to be like, well, this is stupid. You're not going to do that. Like, no, that's not professional. That's not cool. Like, no. So you gotta articulate your thoughts in a coherent way, you know? So
You're just too mature for the Lego community, Brian.
no, it's not even that. Like, I feel like I've just been able to get a different perspective, like in general with this and just how especially with how the internet is in general. Like, I don't know. I don't let a lot of stuff, like, it doesn't bother me that much, you know? Like, it doesn't bother me that the Mario sets are not minifigure style inherently. It's not what I want, but I'm not like passionately against it, you know?
Right.
And like some things I just don't have an opinion on, you know? Like Commander Delta asking what I feel about the new clones being realistic style instead of animated. I just don't have an opinion. Like, whatever, you know? That doesn't matter to me because there's going to be a helmet on the clones anyways. So like, what does it matter to me? I never liked that Clone Wars style that they interpreted from the show. I never liked how the show looked, and then translated into Lego with the giant eyes. I'm like, that looks a little wonky.
Oh, those, yeah.
So I don't mind them being humanoid faces now. So.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the that can be a major problem with I mean, whether you're making Lego content online or really lots of different types of content, is you're expected to have this like strong reaction, a lot of times negative, unfortunately, is what people are looking for to everything. And so it creates this just like constant cycle of having to have reactions to everything when a lot of things, really aren't that big of a deal.
Nope, not at all. Like it's okay to not have a opinion on something or not be educated on a topic, like, and that's okay to admit that, especially with just social media in general, how news can be spread and rumors. And that's why I'm like, those kids on Instagram, it's just boil it down to that and leave it to that. I'll believe it when I see it in a press release. All right, at this point, whatever.
Oh, Brian, what did you think of the Target, the Mario polybag that was at Target?
Yeah, I went to find it. I couldn't find it. I saw Cece. She's probably not here still, but I saw she posted on Instagram about it, and I saw the price. It must have been mislabeled. I hope so. It was like a $12.99 polybag.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, that's high. But I think it was just on a random shelf. I don't think it was accurate. But Kirk, you're muted. Just in case you were saying something. Yeah. There you go.
I was saying that seems very inaccurate. That doesn't seem like that would be the price.
It was just the bar that they happened to be placed on, but I saw it and I'm like, whoa, hopefully not. But no, I haven't found it yet. I'm obviously going to get them. And if anybody else, like if Kevin needs one, I'll pick one up for him, so. Brian sops up those tears with the nice French cooler or a strawberry glazed with sprinkles. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, that sounds
exactly what I do. And apparently Stud is way behind, commenting now that Hedwig is the bird thing. So you're talking about how you're not old. You're way back like 30 minutes in the stream, Stud. So you got to catch up on that one.
I have never made any effort to act like I know anything about Harry Potter.
And you know what? You admit that, and that's fine. That's totally fine.
What Mario thing at Target? It's a poly bag that comes with like the mushroom, right?
In the mushroom, and I believe a question block as well.
I think so. Let me see if I can find it.
It's if you get the starter course and one of the other sets, you'll get it. Like you'll get it. Nothing's like super exclusive. It's just yeah, Jeff. If you happen to see it and you want to pick me up one, sure. But I'm assuming it'll appear by me soon anyway. So yeah, right there. There it is.
right there.
Feel free to send them around all the contributors.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Every single person. Joshua, big Mario fan, tremendous Mario fan.
Tremendously huge Mario fan.
Yes, he's very educated. Very educated. And you can send it to my P.O. box if anybody finds it out there.
What is your P.O. box to send Bricks O'Brien fan mail?
Yes, and gift cards as well to Chipotle exclusively.
Anything you want to send to Brian, do it, people.
Yes. No, I actually make it very clear in my, like I do fan mail videos, and I make it very, very, very clear. Never send me stuff ever, because some kids send me their Pokemon cards, and I'm like, I don't want your Pokemon. Keep your cards.
I saw that in one of your videos.
Yeah. That's why
that was me, Brian. I'm sorry.
What? Well, I just need to say it. I need to verbalize before somebody's like, here, like, take this, take that. Like, the only thing I've requested is so I have it behind me here. There's like a Empoleon perler bead thing, and that. Okay, so I'll show you. So you know what perler bead is?
No.
These things.
Oh yeah, okay. I've seen it before.
So Ben sent this in, and what I'm gonna do is swap out probably this shelf, and I have a full-size Christmas tree. Anybody who sends in one of these, I'm gonna put it as an ornament on the tree.
Oh, that's neat.
That's the only thing I'll request. It's never money, it's never gift, any of that. So Steve says, Brian, you mentioned that not finding it. I find here in New England, our targets are never seem to get the poly bags in a timely fashion. And I don't know if it's people swooping too, Steve. There might be a couple of swoopers out there. I don't know.
You think just a couple?
Maybe. Like, hey, Target always has new Lego before anyone else in my experience. I saw the one propeller suit on the shelf, one at my Target over here. And then it was gone next time I showed up last night looking for the poly bag. But yeah. So if anybody wants to send in perler beads, if you're making them with your family at any point, send them on in. I'll keep them all for Christmas time. So yeah, Jeff is swooping, but for the community. He's contributing over to the Bricks O'Brien hedge fund over here in a good way.
I like the idea of the Christmas tree. That's a neat thing.
Yeah, I did it last year, and I said any ornaments you send in, handmade ornaments, do not buy me ornaments. And there's always somebody that does, always. And a lot of people sent in really good homemade ornaments, and I love them, and I have them all in a box over here. But somebody sent in like one of those Hallmark ornaments that was like $28, and I'm like, what? Don't do that. Make some paper thing. Like, I appreciate it. Obviously, I put it on the tree, but I appreciate the handmade stuff more often. So
I really want to rip that idea off for me on the brick now.
What, the sending free stuff to you guys? Because you
already got like a Christmas tree with like fan made stuff on it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Totally. No, that'd be great, and especially if we're doing this into the holiday season, like you could absolutely take out all that garbage Mario stuff and put a
right. I mean, that stuff obviously has to go soon.
Right, and it can go to my P.O. box, 1448 Wakefield, Massachusetts, 01880.
Do you really need more Mario boxes? You probably have like 4 copies of this set by now.
I have 2 copies of that set, sir. Relax. All right. Yeah, the privilege is showing. Studs is still back in the chat. Pro designers should be able to handle a critique without getting emotions involved. They're going to be a bunch of people in a meeting throwing comments at it. Exactly. Yeah. But there's a difference between doing a constructive critique than doing a I'm bashing on this because it's dumb, Right. Very big difference. Beyond the Bricks, send in Lego ornaments. Boom. There you go. Hey, I'm going to start my ornament request in like mid-October, and I'll have it all up through November and December. So yeah. I'm going to miss this show when the virus gets over with. Well, you never know how long it might go on.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You never know.
Don't have anywhere to go for the rest of the year at this point.
Yep. Well, because like a lot of these shows also plan 6 months to a year in advance, so you got to factor
Yeah.
in. So PAX East, my favorite show of the year, happens late February, early March, early April, and they're probably preparing, 2 months from now for that show, or they already are. Do they know if that's going to actually happen? I don't know. So, how
Annette
much
Lee
work-
says, "I love all the buildings you guys shown beyond the brick shows." Thank you. Yeah, so we still have some convention interviews going up, but we're quickly running out from the backlog that we had. So enjoy it while it lasts.
Totally.
Until the convention interviews run out.
Yeah. How much ornaments do you want? Hey, if you want to send in one or multiple, you do what you want, as long as they are perler bead. That's how they get on the tree. They look like that. You put them all together, bake them in the oven, and pop them out. Yep.
N8 says, "I was at one of the cons you guys were at. I got to meet Joshua. Well, thank you. I'm glad you were there. Thanks for watching and saying something. One of the biggest things I miss about not being able to go to shows now is the meeting the fans, just meeting people, the builders, everyone. I miss everyone at the shows. I wish I could see everyone. So
Yep.
I always appreciate the time that people take to come up and chat with us if they're a fan. So that's always nice. So thank you."
And so we know that I turn into Mario when I go away, and now we know Kirk turns into Voltron when he goes away.
I need something to put here when I have to leave.
Yes, you do. And Stud, it has that awful Connecticut Walmart Wi-Fi connection. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Based on what I know about Connecticut, there's no good Wi-Fi in the whole state.
It's disgusting. I tried doing a stream from there, and it was literally like I was in Minecraft. It was awful.
Oh yeah, that's Golden Light. I can take I've got a T-34 tank from Brickmania up here on the shelf. I can pull that down and put the camera on it when I have to go.
There you go. If the Oval Office is in there, please show it on camera. I think you're working on one of the wings now, right?
Yes, I am. So I've done the center of it here.
Nice.
And I don't know which wing this is. One of them.
Trying to remember if Brian Bonahum, introduced me to Joshua the first time we met at Brickworld Chicago 2012.
I don't think so. For people who aren't familiar with what Kevin's talking about, okay, just broke some pieces, so momentary issue. Brian Bonahum used to run the Brickworld shows until this year when he passed it off to Mark Larson just in time for all of them to get canceled. So that works well. So I don't think Brian introduced us, Kevin. I think you saw us and we saw each other across the room at the show, and there was just an immediate connection there. And I think you actually came up to us. You were very nice because this was the first show we'd ever been to. We didn't know anyone. And I was probably very nervous as well at the show. And so you came up to us and said, because we had reached out to Kevin about coming on the podcast before Brickworld. And Kevin came up and said, "Oh, you're the guys from what back then was called A Look at Lego." And, I think you reached out to me. Like he said, you reached out to me about coming on the show. And then we chatted there at the show. And then actually Kevin not only was willing to chat with us at the show, but we were only there as public attendees. And so we had to leave when the public time ended. So Kevin went out in the hallway at the old Brickworld location and talked to me and John for quite a while after that. I don't remember how long exactly it was. But yeah, he was very, very generous with his time. And then he shortly came on the podcast after that, forced us to change our name and logo. So that was nice of him. But he then supplied both of those things for us in the future. So I think it was all a ploy to get us to hire him to do a new logo. I think
right,
basically what
exactly.
I'm trying to say.
Precisely.
But no, I have always appreciated the people who took the time to talk to us, especially that very first show, but any of the early shows we went to when we were very small and didn't know a lot of people, that was obviously very generous of people to take the time to do that. At that point, no one really knew who we were, so I've always appreciated that. And that's why I still enjoy working with Kevin today. I'm glad we can still do stuff with him.
He's decent.
Now I've got to fix this build. Kevin, let's just talk outside. That's something like that. They made the announcement that shows always make of like, if you're not a registered attendee, you've got to leave now. Oh, and I think Brian or somebody came by and Kevin tried to stand up for us and was like, oh, I'm talking to these guys. Can we just stay here? And they said no. They get, like, understandably so. They try to enforce that pretty hard so that the public doesn't hang around after hours. So it's understandable. But yeah, Kevin was willing to go out in the hall and chat.
The first time I met Vision, we built Galador figures. Yes, I remember that. That
is an awful way to start any connection. I'm sorry.
Like, why did you ever talk to each other again after that?
Right.
Yeah. No, it was actually, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty interesting because I had never done anything with Galador. So I believe the proper term is glitching, when you just mix the figures, like, parts together, because you could just attach them to different parts. So
yeah.
We had a bit of weird combinations going on there, but it was a pretty funny time. And after that, of course, we've talked more, of course, not so Galador related stuff. But yeah, that's kind of how we met at Philly Brickfest. I think that was when we first met.
There you go. That's the start to every good relationship, is Galador.
Yes, Galador. That's the way to do it. It was wonderful. Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah, Kevin says, I forgot the show ended and you guys had to leave. Yeah, exactly. And see, that's why it's always stuck out to me as something that I've really appreciated, the extra time you took to chat with us. I'm sure for Kevin, it was like not a big deal at the time, but that's the same reason I try to go out of my way when I meet people at shows now, fans, whoever, to take that, at least a couple minutes to chat with them and make sure, that we're able to have a conversation, because people remember that, the fans and people that we meet, that can really stick with them for a long time. So I try to do that whenever possible.
Galador yoga with Joey, Vision Brooks, and Robbie Blocks at Philly Brook. Yep, that's what it was.
Galador
yoga. Yeah, we just had, like, I forgot we had Nick Bluetooth. I think we had Allegra and whatever the name is of the frog, like, sea monster looking guy. And we just took the parts, detached them, just had them go in all sorts of crazy, like, positions and stuff. It was weird, but it was, like, cool at the same time. But yeah, that's what happened.
Timothy Martin says, is Brian gone? No, Brian just morphs into his true form every once in a while. So that's what you see sitting there in the chair. So that just happens to him every once in a while. But he'll be back in his human form soon.
Trent, I've heard more talk about Galador on this stream and from Jang than I did when the theme came out. Since I'm an AC fan, I would wait. Let's see, Santa Maria. Okay. Brian, is Mario confirmed? Yeah,
I
yeah,
absolutely. I gotta buy Thok and Laval.
You still haven't picked them up?
I still haven't gotten Thok and Laval. I was looking for a good price on Thok, and I haven't found anything that caught me. So, like, I'm trying to buy from, like, as few sellers as I can.
Right.
And the one set that has, like, if I type in Laval on Bricklink, there's like a Laval, like, launcher, like the set is like a tank, but then it, like, launches like this out.
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it like a lion sort of?
Yeah,
build?
it's Laval's Fire Lion. So there's that one, and it has this like woolly mammoth big fig guy.
Mhm.
So I'm looking for a set that has Laval in it, but not necessarily that set because I don't really care for that set. So,
Kevin
can I?
says, "Is this the final 30-minute coast of the stream?" Yes.
Kevin, unless you want to get in here and add some entertaining value to this live stream, how about you keep quiet?
This is the when we break out the snacks and just.
Yeah, I have Ryzen that someone sent in.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
It's a chewy chocolate and caramel covered in dark European chocolate.
Ooh, that sounds good.
They're decent. I'm kind of hungry, so.
I always like once we hit this point in the stream, like Cheez-Its just sounds so good to me every stream.
You know what? I hate that you said that because I have Cheez-Its out in the kitchen and now I have to. Yeah,
don't be afraid. Embrace it.
You know what? Yeah, let's go get some Cheez-Its. I'll bring the Cheez-Its. We'll just have
that, Kevin?
a whole snack-a-thon.
Ryzen's and live streams and Cheez-Its.
We can. I'll save step 5 for after the stream ends. But I don't need to finish this whole build because I'm building slowly.
Is the stream going to be demonetized because Brian keeps talking about fuck? Listen, I don't give a fuck what anybody feels about fuck. I'm gonna keep talking the fuck talk. Okay, as long as it takes.
He's waiting for a fan to send him one in his PO box, as mentioned.
No,
earlier.
I'm actually not, because someone's gonna do it, and then I'm gonna feel bad because I can get it with my own money.
You're like, don't. Okay, Mom, I don't need you to buy me Thok.
Mom, we gotta buy Brian Thok. No, you don't. You literally don't. Please don't. It's cool that Brickset tells you all the sets that like a figure comes in. That's good.
Hugh is just a world treasure. What he's done, such a wonderful man. Hugh and his wife, wonderful people. I love when we get to hang out with them.
Ooh, I can get the Lion Chi Temple. That's probably mad expensive. Yeah, that's probably expensive. Like, I want it for the meme, but not that bad. You know what I mean?
I'm running into that problem with like so I've got a bunch of parts I need to order to finish sets that I got on like Craigslist a while back so I can sell them because I've got most of the pieces for them. And I'm trying to figure out what the best way is because I've sold a lot on Bricklink over the years, but I've bought very little. And I am trying to figure out how I can find, the most pieces in one store. So I'm not doing like a ton of different orders from different stores and it's difficult.
Okay. Does anybody in this chat care about Chima?
My favorite theme.
No, it's not. Keep quiet. I need help on like what to get. So they have like a Scorm? Is it SCORM? Who named Scorm? Who named that set?
That's what the Danish sound like when trying to pronounce English words. So they just
right. There's the Lion Chi Temple. What other one looks cool? There's a couple of them. The Lavertus Outland Base. What is these names? Lavertus Outland Base. Yeah.
You got some original Cheez-Its there, Vision?
Yes.
Man,
that's the only way to go. I don't know. Like I've never really cared for like the other flavors for some reason. Like white cheddar doesn't appeal to me.
I can get down with white cheddar sometimes. I mean, original is kind of like what I lean towards, but
yeah,
every once in a while, white cheddar is good.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Kevin says to just buy the figure off Bricklink.
Hey, who said that? Who said that?
Kevin.
Kevin, that you should get to work on my brand book. All right.
Wow. Okay.
All right. As I did not email him the font like I should have.
Somebody needs to get Brian a Snickers.
Stop giving him rice and give him a Snickers.
Brian's not himself until he's had a Snickers.
Yeah. I don't even know where to find it. All right. What are you? I don't even have you two open. Okay, you're just chilling. All right, cool. You're gonna finish that build in time, Joshua? You've been it's a crawl.
I'm not gonna finish. I'm gonna finish this section that I'm on, and then we'll stop. Yeah, it's fine. I know I build slowly.
No, you're good.
Wait, how many pieces are in the set?
Alyssa's concerned that you're not being wholesome enough, Brian. Okay.
Why is Brian picking on people in the chat? Not very wholesome. If there's anybody that deserves to be picked on in this chat, it's absolutely Kevin Hinkle. It's absolutely Alyssa. 100,000%. Joshua, even more so. The only one that I like in here is Brick Star Wars Boy. Everybody else, I'm indifferent to. And some people I hate.
Wow.
Like Kevin and Alyssa. Everybody else.
Oh,
Milan is cool. Milan is good. Everyone else. All right. Jeff is safe so far. Don't count your chickens twice, Jeff. Don't count.
You know, these streams are tough on Brian mentally.
Everything's tough on me mentally. Being around you is really that's what it. No, I'm kidding. I love you guys.
I'm sorry I do that to you. I try my best. Okay, Brian.
You could try harder.
I could,
but you don't. Okay.
See, this kind of energy is what you're gonna bring to the 24-hour live stream to keep us going,
dude. You can't even believe. I can't even believe. Like, man.
Hey, Kevin literally physically handed off the gauntlet to you.
I don't think you're ready for it though, you know? I don't know if the world is ready.
That's what I'm excited for, because we've done all these streams leading up to it, and then that'll be the ultimate, and it'll be like we finally, by the time the 24 hours ends, we'll have seen Brian in his true form and what he's truly capable of on a live stream.
It's just me like hysterically crying about nothing. Like
he's gonna curl up in the corner back there between those two white bookshelves and just have himself a good long cry.
Is this what you want, Kevin? You want?
That was Kevin on the floor in his build.
Right. Right. And then Doc has to come save me next time.
Yes.
That's great. No takesies, backsies. He's holding responsibilities. Nice, Kevin. Nice. This is a moment we need Andres to show up and bring back the energy. Shout out to Andres and the apple. I've never been more happy in my life.
I've
never felt happiness, man.
Andres somehow finds just the most unique places to join from.
I'm here on this rooftop in Germany.
Mind you, on this rooftop.
Don't tell them that I'm in Germany. Here's this apple. So I hope everybody's doing well. Like,
for my first time meeting him, that was definitely the deal breaker. That definitely
the deal breaker. Or the deal set in. Like
the deal set. Well, deal set in. That was it. That was it right there.
Legend.
He'll email me and John photos of the just plates of food, random buildings. Like will
he message you or email you?
Email. He emails. Oh, he doesn't trust messengers.
Wow.
He's got this weird thing about like Facebook Messenger and stuff. I've never really understood it. Sorry, Andres, I'm exposing you on the stream. So he only does email. So and it's just like a photo of some food or like some nice skyline he's in, something pleasant that he's enjoying, and it just shows up in my inbox. And I'm like, thank you, Andreas. That's wonderful.
Apparently Alyssa stands the apple, so that's where we're at now. Give us another impression and don't forget the call back to Toy Fair. It's so good to see you all. This Big Apple reminds me of the time we were in the Big Apple New York Toy Fair. Such a good time. Can't wait to go back to it always goes back to New York and Toy Fair and the Big Apple. Man. Always. Yeah, like this backdrop of Germany, you think I'm in New York, but I'm not. I'm in Germany. Like what? No one accused you of being in New York. Literally no one had an issue. No one assumed you were, but there you are. Don't tell them I'm in a rooftop in Germany. All right. So 100 people watching. All right.
Don't tell. Yeah, that was so good. It's like, don't tell him I'm here. Because normally he does all these posts on his blog and stuff. Then I'm always like, why does anyone who follows your blog for Lego care that you're like a tourist in wherever you are? but he does that. So this time he hadn't done that.
Oh man, what was it there? He joined the stream and he didn't address the apple. Like you wouldn't notice the apple. Like he had this giant ceramic apple right next to him. Yeah, there's a cherry too. There's 2 cherries. Just gonna leave this information out. Who cares about the view when you have 2 cherries and an apple? Wow, the worst impression I've ever heard. 10 out of 10 for effort. Hey, Brixie's Club, you want to hop on this live stream and talk about it?
You want to go toe to toe with Brian's impression?
It'll be so good to see you in the live stream and do our Andres impression off. It'll be so good.
Meet me in the parking lot at the Dunkin' Donuts. We'll throw down.
Timothy
Kurt,
Martin. Yeah.
can we get an update on the Cheez-Its? Because Cupcake is curious. Or the Cheez-Its.
Oh, I'm gonna need Cheez-Its now.
In a little cup. That's so
You're so dainty. Do you have a cup of tea there as well?
No, I don't. I just have this Space Invaders mug. My pen's in there. That's it.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Brickstar, hey, you think my impression is bad? Brickstar said I was hearing Andres, but I don't see him. You want to go toe-to-toe? Get out of here. Get out of this live stream, sir. Hey, Brickstar thinks it's Andres. It's Andres. I understand
Pringles and Lay's are better.
I respect the effort. Thank you, Brixies.
I do enjoy Lay's. Pringles, I haven't had those in a while. I think the last time I had Pringles was like a couple of months ago.
Pringles are good, man. I can definitely get down with some cans of Pringles. Trying to fit my arm all the way down in there when it gets low.
I think that's like the one thing I don't. Yeah, it's just like
you do this hand motion going into the can. And you're like, you can't get in there.
Oh, man.
Do you like making life more difficult on yourself? Just like this?
Oh man, the challenge makes it all the sweeter when I get those sour cream and onion Pringles in my mouth.
He doesn't eat them out of the box. He's classy. Oh, I know Kirk is a classy guy. I wasn't debating that, but like it was just such a very like it's not just a regular cup. It's a cup that like you have a little vacation juice out of. It's got a little mark that way. It's very classy.
Oh man.
I'm sorry I'm taking so long to finish this build.
That's what got you, Joshua? The comment? Was it the Pringles? Or what part it got you?
Oh, man.
It's great. Joshua not simply tuning the tube upside down to get the last chips is 2020 personified. Yeah, it's just doing...
Hey, if you turn it upside down, stuff like crumbs can fall out and stuff, so it's not good.
That's why when you get to the very bottom, you just tip the whole thing in your mouth, let it all fall out, and you eat it all.
I'm not that barbaric.
Well, that's a testament to me as a person.
No, I've definitely done that before.
Yeah, I don't need crumbs in my eye. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's like for me. I rather whenever I have eaten Pringles, I normally, of course, you go through the tube with your hand. You pick up whatever you're able to with your 2 fingers. Eventually, when you get down to the halfway mark, you're normally, at least for me, kind of tilt the container a bit, still use my fingers. Once it gets like much lower than half, that's when I start shoving my hand down the tube. Can't fit my hand in all the way, so I have to kind of shake it a bit back, pull some more out. Once you get down to the least, like the lowest amount possible, that's when you get down to the crumbs. And normally what I do is I pour it in my hand. And I just pick them up individually and just eat them. I don't prefer to do that because then it gets on the floor and it's like, gotta clean it up. And I just don't like it. I just don't.
So Trent had 2 comments. He said, it's sad that none of us know the secrets of happiness, but Andres sure does. And then he also said, not all of us drink Pringles, Brian. Trent, I'm a fat man. All right. I'm a big guy. You got to get that food down the gullet as efficiently as possible. If I want to drink a can of Pringles, it's my American right to do so.
I'm going to tell John to cut out that excerpt, and it's just Pringles tutorial with vision bricks, and it's just a step-by-step. We get Kevin to make like an animation for it.
Stream highlights, yes. Kevin says, I can't believe this is where we are. Asking, are we done? Kevin, You have nothing better to do. Let's face it. All right. Take a day,
man.
relax. Hey, there's 71 people that could be doing anything else with their lives, but they're here. So
They chose to be here.
that's more of an insight to them. And who knows how many more people will watch afterward.
That's
Oh, yeah.
right.
At least 3.
Cupcake asks, do any of us own the Stranger Things set? I do not. I want to. I really like them.
No, I don't.
want to.
I'm not a fan of Justin Ramsden. I actually have never enjoyed anything he's designed, so that's why I don't have it.
Yeah, I talked to him once. I was very indifferent to the whole experience.
That's kind of the effect he has on people.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to laugh or be confused. I'm trying to think if you guys are being
I interviewed
dead.
him for the
Okay.
Monkey King set. Yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, are you guys being serious right now, or because Joshua would honestly sound like very serious when he was
Now, when I say that I hate Kevin and Alyssa, I'm not lying. I am not lying. Brick Czar's in the good graces too. So Brick Czar joins Milan and Brick Star Wars Boy. Everyone else I'm indifferent to. Yeah.
Kevin asks, did we run off all the special guests a few weeks ago?
Yep. Nobody. We
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
we ran them all off. That's it. We're done. Okay.
That's it.
Oh man.
That's it. It's all done. Wrap it up. No, I enjoy these like banter streams.
Yeah.
No, and especially building. It was we couldn't really build when we had guests, so it's nice. We'll have other streams in the future with guests. You know, we've got some stuff that'll be good. You know, depending on what's coming out, what we're building and stuff. So don't worry, we'll have some more of that. But it's fun just to chat and build as well, because there's a lot of cool stuff out there to build. And I don't get to do that when we're doing the interview streams.
No, I think we thought in the beginning we'd be able to do that, but no, we're not able to. I really want to get like no offense to you, Kirk, because you're okay, but like I want to get Cool Factor, Mike on here, Brick Wiz. I want to see more of these if they can. You know, I know life is tough, but all that building.
Wait.
You think he'd be able to pop? What's Kirk? What did I do? What, sir?
I just heard what you just said. You said I'm okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You're
understand.
not decent. Hey, you get called the GOAT all the time. All right.
Okay.
So
yeah, you're right. You're right.
I have this opinion of you that doesn't quite resonate with you counteracts the ego that is thrust upon you from others.
Oh man.
That's how.
I mean, I would take okay at this point. I'm
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
I mean, okay is probably like the best.
No one ever says I'm okay.
Joshua, we don't talk about you. Some returning guest would be great. I wholeheartedly agree. I want to have Jang on again and talk more about nonsense, like just general nonsense. You know, Jang is such a professional that he's very like he's got his act together. I want to crack him.
That's why John and I bond with Jang very nicely, and why he lets us in his house. You know, we keep that professional.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you Boone pet his dog, right? That was the thing.
I tried not to pet his dog, and then everyone commented, like, why'd you guys keep pushing the dog away? Because I was trying to keep it professional and focus on Jang, and the dog kept bringing toys over to play with.
No, yeah, that's when you entirely disregard whoever's house you're in. Like, the dog is the priority, 100%.
See, the problem is I'm not a dog person.
You're not a dog person?
No, I'm not. I know, that's the problem. So, like, dogs and I just don't vibe, and so when the dog kept doing that, I was like, just try to focus on doing the interview and ignore the dog.
I can't believe you willingly ignored the dog.
I know. People, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, and also, hey, not to throw shade, where's Boone? Where's big star Boone Langston? I know he's busy doing Lego Master stuff.
Yep. He long ago surpassed us.
The build camp, I know, man. I know. Brian, when Jang returns, what's your favorite Galador color? Actually, so the question I actually wanted to ask him, because I retweeted on Twitter, I think, what you guys posted about the stream, and I was like, oh, come in the stream and ask me, watch me ask Jang what his favorite grain of wood is. I want to ask him what his favorite grain of wood is.
Hey, really Jang would have a response to that. You know he'd have some good answer to that question.
No, I thought he'd have a good answer to what his favorite video game of all time is, and he's like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Like, you have a whole room dedicated to Halo. He's like, well, yeah, then I guess Halo.
He's literally got a Halo shrine in his house, and he's like, I don't know, maybe like Mario.
I love Roblox, actually. What?
I mean,
Okay.
Minecraft is pretty fun.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait.
Oh man.
Milan says, Kirk, don't feel too bad being called okay is already a major accomplishment. See?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. I'll take it.
And my favorite chatter in here, Brick Star Wars Boy. Bye, everyone. Take care. Stay safe and don't lick windows. Hey, don't you lick windows either, Brick Star Wars Boy. One of my favorite people in here. That was a reference to one of my videos where I told everybody to not lick windows.
Yes.
You're looking out for the people, Brian.
There's some people that do lick windows. It's and Kirk has been teleported into the void. He is
Oh
going.
boy.
Wait,
Uh-oh.
what? Yeah, why
It's
is my screen black?
entirely
Hold up.
black screen.
Let's see. Okay.
Okay.
And Kirk's dead. Awesome.
I don't know where
The
I've been
algorithm
teleported to.
cut just Kirk out.
I don't know where I've been teleported to. Somebody help me. Let's see. I'll leave, I guess. Question.
Sure,
And
yeah.
Try. Yeah. Okay. Let's try that.
So, fun fact. Jang has never reviewed any Galador that I'm aware of on his channel, but thanks to our support of him on Patreon, we get to choose a set that he's going to review, and I'm still waiting. I don't think he's done Fort Legorado yet that I'm aware of. Last I checked, he had not. So I'm still waiting on that. But then the latest is, because it's like every 3 months you can re-up. The latest review request is some Galador that we put in with him. So
There you go.
at some point, thanks to your friends at Beyond the Brick, Jang will be doing some Galador reviews.
That'll be great.
That will be.
And Kevin's saying, I would love to hear just once, Django. You think Bricks O'Brien could host such a professional live stream? I would pay good money to hear that too. I want that soundbite to the intro to all my live streams. That's what I want.
There's so many small pieces. That's why this build is taking so long. It's very small pieces.
How many
Gotcha.
pieces in general is it?
Don't know. It's 1,483.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay. Now I can understand why it's taking you this long. That many pieces and they're all like much smaller. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Milan saying Just Too Good did a Galador polybag review. No, you got to go head first. You got to dive right into Galador.
You got to go right into the TDN module.
Yep, exactly. Hey, we got to get him back on, Mr. Just 10 Minutes. He knows it. I'm like, hey, you got to get back on here. Come on. You got to take over for a Mario stream. It'll be good.
Oh, no.
Just.
That's what Kevin calls him in the chat. Just 10 minutes. His name is Justin too, so if it's
Because like I remember I came earlier when the stream was getting ready to start, and I'm like, okay, he's not here. Okay, I stayed for a little bit. Then I left to go I think it was to go eat lunch or something. I came back and like, he's not here still. So what happened? Was he here or did he not show up?
No,
So-
we're gonna think we've got this like big beef going on with Just Too Good.
no.
I'm just like, you know what? I never would have thought that Beyond the Brick would be the type of clickbaity channel, but I guess
Well, right. So that's I made that thumbnail, and then I'm like, everyone's gonna think that they clickbaited because he literally shows up for 10 minutes of a 3-hour podcast. It's like and then everyone's in the chat like, "Where's Just Too Good? Where's just?" We're like, we don't, no idea, no clue. Like,
oh man.
After this, I'm gonna go rewatch the live stream with Jang. Absolutely, go for it, man.
You know
You can see me sitting in silence as Andres like talks to him about his Lego City for an hour and 40 minutes, which is totally fine. It's fine.
Brian.
Am I wrong? Like he absolutely had the time of his life, and then it was like another hour after the live stream. We're all in there, and he was still talking about the city. It's great.
I've got this 1x4 white plate left over that definitely should not be left over.
Well,
I don't know where it goes.
it is.
Well,
there it is.
okay, so here's what I've got so far. So
You can put that 1x4 in the distance, and it can be like the Washington Monument, just to perspective.
Here we go. Got some nice trees. This part looks great. So the fountain's weird. The just one chute going up is strange. I'm not sure about that.
There must be more pieces eventually. Or can you tell from the front of the instructions?
No, it's just that. That's how it is in the set. It's
That's
just one. And it doesn't look like the actual fountain, so it's
Yeah.
strange.
Does look cool though. I like that it has multiple wings, not just the main building.
Right, yeah. They really expanded on it. I also have two 1x2 gray tiles. Oh, I'm not complete. There's one more step in the instructions. Whoops.
There it is.
That's why I'm like, okay, let me put on these last few pieces then. This is why I can only get one set done on the 24-hour live stream.
Right. Also, Alyssa suggested a Andre story count next time he's on from John to handle.
A ticker? We need a ticker.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I hope he appreciates how much we think about him on these streams.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he has like the spidey sense, and he knows. There he is. There he is in the chat.
Oh, just in time.
Clap 3 times and he will appear. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness.
Mention New York City enough time.
Plane. There he is. Oh my goodness. Oh man. He shows up like right at the end every time. It's great.
Good to have you with us, Andres. That's gonna be it for this build. I've got one step 5 left. I don't know if I'll build it later or save it for next week's stream. What do you think? Should I save it for the people to enjoy?
So you do you have anything else lined up for next week already, or do you?
No, we don't.
Okay. Yeah, they just save it. You already finished on one wing, you know.
There we go.
Yeah,
sounds good. Well, Andres, you caught us at the very end here. You got a shout out earlier at the beginning of the stream when we were talking about the Osprey, so you're welcome for that. Companies normally pay big money for that advertising, so you're welcome.
Yep. All that ad revenue, that's all you, buddy. There you go.
Thank you everyone for watching. I think that'll finish it out for us today. We're coming right in at the 4 o'clock mark. A great stream as always, everyone. Lots of good conversation. Kirk, it's always a pleasure. Good job building Venice there.
Yeah.
Brian, go check out Bricks O'Brien, everyone. If you haven't seen his streams and everything else he does, also all of his, go over and leave nice comments and a thumbs up on all of his Mario videos. Okay.
If you want to hear me yell at a bunch of kids in Minecraft and Fortnite, twitch.tv/BricksO'Brien, etc.
Twitch.tv/BricksO'Brien. Give him your free Amazon Prime subscriptions. It doesn't cost you anything. Don't spend any actual money on him, but give him your free subscriptions.
Yep. Or give it to Brick and Nick, whichever. I won't take offense otherwise. It's fine.
There you go. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you on another stream real soon, next Tuesday. Same time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Who knows what we'll be doing? Maybe we'll have a guest, or maybe it'll just be us again. Bare minimum effort goes into these streams. We'll see everyone soon. Bye.